have been in the League Cup. He plays behind, we think, three central defenders: Ben Cabango of Swansea, Joe Rodon of Leeds, Ben Davies of Tottenham, with Dan James and Nico Williams as the ostensive wing-backs, Harry Wilson, Josh Sheehan in the midfield, a front three of Mark Harris, Liam Cullen and Brennan Johnson of Tottenham, who scored when these sides met in Reykjavik last month. There is no Aaron Gunnarsson tonight for Iceland. Their most experienced name picked up a thigh injury at the weekend. So Valdimarsson, the goalkeeper, plays behind the back four of Fredriksson, Paul Paulson of Plymouth, Victor Paul Paulson, with Severe Ingi Ingesson of Panathinaikos and Alphonse Samsted of Birmingham City. Those are the back four. Three in the midfield: Isak Bergman Johansson, one of those who comes in tonight, with Arnor Ingi Traustason alongside Jon Dragur Torsteinsson. And then it's a front three of Johan Berger Munson. We know him from Burnley in the past. Ori Oskarsson, who's been their top scorer this campaign, and Andre Gudjonsson, who's the son of Eidur Gudjonsson, the former Bolton and Chelsea man. The referee is Antonio Nobre from Portugal. We're underway. Wales all in red, Iceland all in white. Wales playing from left to right as we look in. The top tier of the stand on the far side is empty, but otherwise a full house inside the arena here as Wales look for a free kick inside the centre circle and don't get it. And Ben Davies, wearing the captain's armband, weaves away from Oskarsson and plays the ball back towards the goalkeeper Danny Ward, who's almost charged down as he clears the ball away. Great to have Kit Simons alongside here in Cardiff. It's cold, but a good big match atmosphere, Kit.
Yeah, it's a really lively atmosphere, and just straight from the kick-off now. Interestingly, Wales looks like it's set up in the back four with Ben Davies at left back, Nico Williams at right back, but that could certainly change throughout the course of the game. They did warm up like that as well, but quite often teams will do that and then change it around when the kick-off comes. But certainly from the off, they've set up with a back four. Yes, it's certainly a great atmosphere. Very cold night, but sort of crowd will warm things up.
Iceland do one away at Montenegro on Saturday. The Montenegrins have been the only team that Iceland have beaten in the group. They won home and away against them. Saturday's victory was the first of 4 games in the group for Iceland. They defeat home and away against Turkey and the draw at home to Wales. Wales have possession with Ben Davies, another who's not been playing that much in the league for his club this season, just one Premier League appearance for Spurs, but they've got several competitions that they're playing across, and he has made 6 club appearances in cup competitions. Wales come over the halfway line. Left-hand side is Dan James, tries to veer the ball in field, and Iceland get it back again. Severe Ingasson has given it away though. James again for Wales, loses his footing as he tries to cut in field, and Iceland breathe a sigh of relief as they clear away. 0-0, early stages at Cardiff City Stadium. Chance for Iceland to come forward down the left-hand side. It's been left by Fredriksson for Jon Dragur Torsteinsson, whose father coaches the Iceland women's team. Back into the defence, Victor Paulson. He started his career at Liverpool. He was once the reserve team captain at Anfield. Never made the breakthrough into the first team at Liverpool. The goalkeeper, who only turned 23 last month, Hakon Valdimarsson, wearing bright luminous yellow. Away to our right-hand side. Ben Davies prods the ball forward for Wales, cleared away by Ingesson. Bit of head tennis inside the Icelandic half. Samsted gets a foot on the ball. No one can get it down on the deck. Brennan Johnson tries to do that, and eventually it is Harry Wilson who gets a firm touch of the ball, and Wales have it again at the back.
Yeah, a bit of a theme already from Craig Bellamy's time in charge. Wales are pressing very high up the pitch. Every time Iceland try to build an attack and come out and play from the back, Wales are really getting in their faces and pressing them, which is a high-tempo game, which will get the crowd going hopefully, and hopefully give Wales a bit of the onus to take the game forward.
Foul by Nico Williams, taking down Torsteinsson. Free kick to Iceland midway inside Welsh territory. Craig Bellamy already is out there on the edge of the technical area. He is very animated, he's waving his arms. For a moment there I thought he'd sort of jewel encrusted, maybe he does, I'm trying to, is that spatters of water or those like little studs on his jacket gleaming? That's very bling if he's gone for sort of encrusted jacket. It's sort of, is it? I'm going to wait till he turns around. He does, he's got little sprinkles of shine, maybe pieces of silver on his jacket. The game's gone. You can't be coaching your country with sparkly jackets. Come on, kid. Now I know you've got the same trainers as Craig, but come on, you wouldn't wear that jacket.
I don't possess any sparkly jackets, I've got to say that.
Here's the Iceland free kick. Played dangerously into the penalty area. 2 Welsh players went for the same time, and they're quite fortunate. Joe Rodon stooped down to try and head it away. I think it was Ben Davies who tried to kick it away. They collided with each other, and in the end there's relief as the referee blows the whistle, and it is a free kick to Wales, and Danny Ward could come out of his penalty area to take. But that's the first time Iceland have asked any questions of the Welsh defence.
Yeah, just a little bit of uncertainty there in the back. You want, ideally, probably Joe Rodon to take control of that situation and give Nico Williams a big shout and let him know it's him who's going to come through and win the ball. But yeah, a little bit confusing, but we got away with it certainly, and Danny Ward now takes the free kick. Danny
Ward's 44th cap for his country tonight. Clears the ball up to the halfway line. Chance of an attack here though for Iceland. Oscarson has done really well to hold it up in the midfield. Johannesson arriving, shoots, and it's tipped over the top. Danny Ward makes the save. Not sure it was going under the crossbar, but the keeper had to be sure. And this has been a strong few minutes here from Iceland. 0-0 in Cardiff on 5 Live at BBC Sounds.
Yeah, just a little bit confusing in the middle of the pitch. It was just a long ball forward, and Ben Cabango gets a little bit the wrong side of Oscarson, who holds the ball up well and then plays it out to the right hand side. It's a rising shot, to be fair, and it's one Danny Ward should save, but he's got to make sure and sees it over the bar. But dangerous from Iceland. Again, they show they've got a bit of a threat going forward. They've now got a corner.
Corner to Iceland on the right hand side. Wales have brought everyone apart from Dan James back to defend it. It's rolled short to the edge of the area. It was a pre-rehearsed move that doesn't quite produce the outcome that Iceland had desired, and Wales are able to clear the ball away and out for a throw-in on the far side. The Iceland head coach, Aga Herrera, like Kit, played for Manchester City in the past, like Craig Bellamy played for Manchester City in the past. He was also a Norwich player in his day, 50 caps for Norway, and he's well known for managing Denmark in the past. But Aga Herrera, now the Iceland head coach, as his team have possession in the midfield. Johan Berg Gudmundsson, the former Burnley player who's now in Saudi Arabia. Fredriksson here will roll it back inside his own half. Paulsen back to Fredriksson, pressure being applied now by Brennan Johnson, and that pressure forces Iceland back, and they retreat to the goalkeeper away to our right hand side. Wales did have a goal disallowed in Turkey on Saturday. Jordan James's effort was ruled out. James, who started that game on the bench tonight, did make the 4 changes. What have you made of that, kid? Because we know Craig Bellamy, as he was as a player, he likes energy. Do you see those 4 changes to bring in fresh legs rather than any tactical changes, or what have you made of that number of changes?
Yeah, I think so. Again, it's been something that he's been quite consistent doing. Every time there's a second game, in close succession, he'll freshen things up and make 3, 4, 5 changes. So he's not afraid to do that. And what it does show is that he trusts his squad. He's not got a set starting 11 and then the others are all like second part players, if you like. He's got a squad and he trusts all of them.
Samsted delivers across from the right wing. It's been controlled by Thorsteinsson. Back to the edge of the box. Great ball in. Header, what a save, Danny Ward. Brilliant header to deny Thorsteinsson, but the follow-up goes into the back of the net. And Iceland, through Andre Gudjonsson, the son of Eidur Gudjonsson, take the lead in the early stages in Cardiff. We've only played 7 minutes. Danny Ward made a spectacular save, and he didn't push it back into his central area. He pushed it out wide, and yet Gudjonsson was well positioned to finish his 8th international goal. Bad start for Wales. Wales 0, Iceland 1.
Yeah, we were speaking at the start about how good this Welsh defence has been, but I mean it was really, really poor defending, I've got to say, which is very uncharacteristic. The ball came out and it's very sort of higgledy-piggledy, the back line pushing up, they're not all in line together, and he makes a fantastic save, Danny Ward. I feel really sorry for him. The initial header from Oscarson, and he's got his head in his hands, but then it's a really tight angle. I think Danny Ward will be disappointed with the second one. As much as he's made a brilliant first save, the second one's a tight angle, and I think it goes through his legs. It does go through his leg, clips his heel and goes through, and it's a poor goal for Wales to give away. But now we know we've got to go and try and win this game, so we've got to be positive and try and get a goal back very quickly. Right,
well, we won't overdo the Nations League group permutations in this first half because it can become quite tedious. We'll get in more detail in the second half if things are close. But as things stand, because of that goal, Turkey still 0-0 Montenegro. Turkey top of the group. Iceland, as it stands, move into second, so they would get the promotion playoff in March. And as things stand, Wales now would be third in the group. They would have a relegation promotion against one of the teams from League C and the potential of dropping down a tier for the Nations League next time. Not that there's any great concern about Nations League, I don't feel, but this could affect Wales' chance of going to the World Cup. That's where it will become very serious, and that's why Craig Bellamy's team have got to try and turn this around. Andre Gudjonsson's goal, Wales 0, Iceland 1, 5 Live and BBC Sounds in the Nations League tonight as Ben Davies comes out of defence, left-hand side for Craig Bellamy's team wearing all red. Davies gives it into the midfield to Josh Sheehan of Bolton, who played the full 90 minutes against Turkey on Saturday. Back to Joe Rodon, who's earning his 50th cap for his country this evening. He only turned 27 in October, been a regular for Leeds this season, 3rd place in the Championship. Wales tried to attack down the left with Dan James, good header won in the midfield by Johan Berg Gudmundsson. We know him as a more attacking wide player, but he's playing a central role for his country tonight. Here comes Thorsteinsson with the blonde hair down the left-hand side. Iceland all in white, taking on Nico Williams. He gets to the edge of the penalty area, pulls it back again for Gudmundsson, and into a more central location, Victor Paulsen. Iceland looking comfortable. That goal has certainly settled any nerves they have tonight, Kit.
Absolutely. I mean, we said at the start they were a goal threat. We saw out there they can like cause you big problems going forward. But like I say, certainly didn't expect them to score such an early goal against us, and it was a poor defensive goal for us as well. The ball just laid back. We pushed up, but not collectively, not together as a line. Free header, and then Wardy makes a brilliant save, but then gets done on the rebound from quite a tight angle. And I think Ilfeely should have done better with the second one. Although, like I say, did make a brilliant first save.
Wales, who have conceded for the first time in 4 home games. Goal coming after 7 minutes for Gudjonsson. Wales 0, Iceland 1. Joe Rodon tonight wearing heavy strapping on his head. He was involved in a clash of heads with teammate Mark Harrison Saturday in the game against Turkey. Both have made it through and been pass fit to start tonight. Harris doesn't have any protective gear as such, but Joe Rodon certainly does. Here is Ben Cabango, 12th cap for him. Swansea mid-table of the Championship at the moment, his club. And now this is Nico Williams, who's had a very fine season so far with Nottingham Forest, right up there in the European places of the Premier League. Brennan Johnson, first time he's come forward with the ball at his feet, and Fredriksson did well, got in close to Brennan Johnson, didn't give him any space, and the deflection comes back off the Tottenham man. No corner for Wales. That is a goal kick to Iceland, who lead 1-0 here.
I think that was the first time Brennan's touched it, so we're a goal down, and it's 11 minutes before he gets the touch of the ball, so I think we certainly need to get him more involved in the game. We know what a threat he can be, his pace, and what a great goal-scoring vein of form he's in for Tottenham. Need to get him more on the ball and hopefully get him replicating that for Wales.
Andre Gudjonsson, who's now been involved in a goal in each of his last 3 international appearances, scored 2 of them, he's provided an assist in the other, plays his club football in Belgium with Ghent, and Andre Gudjonsson certainly do the Gudjonsson name proud of the national team front at the moment. This is Thorsteinsson, high booming crossfield pass, difficult one for Samsted of Birmingham City to control, but he does control it. And Iceland are doing well in the 50-50 battles. They're quite a physical team. They are tall, they are strong, and they are fronting up in any close encounters here. Good strength by Oskarsson, who's got in around the back of the defender. Oskarsson in the penalty area. Joe Rodon sweeps across and makes a very important challenge, but Iceland were nearly in again.
They were. The linesman did put his flag up, so it would have been offside had we not have cleared the danger, but it's great covering from Joe Rodon. Ben Cabango a little bit shaky the start of this game. He needs to settle himself down a bit, but it was great covering of his centre-half partner from Joe Rodon. He got across really, really quickly. Wales
0, Iceland 1. Wales have only ever lost to Iceland once in the past. That was back in the early 1980s. Long way to go tonight in Cardiff as Cabango plays a direct ball. Brennan Johnson, I think, is offside. Controls it well. No flag. Johnson denied by the keeper. Valdimarson with a good save. Flag belatedly rises. And that was level where we're sitting, Kid. And it did look at the time that Brennan Johnson had just crept offside as the pass was played to him.
Yeah, but that was better. That was better from Brennan Johnson. Certainly looking to get him behind. We know what electric pace he's got. He's probably about a yard offside. So not a lot in it. And he... once he's away, you're not catching him really. So he got a shot on target, keeper made a good save, but was just that yard offside. But that's certainly a way Wales can get in. We saw over there as well, and Nico Williams played several through balls, longer through balls through. Harry Wilson it was on that occasion, making runs in behind. But certainly Brennan Johnson's a player, we just said that we want to get him into the game quickly, and things like that, he looks a real threat.
Wales trailing by a goal to nil at home to Iceland. Joe Rodon goes good work on the edge of his own penalty area there. Brennan Johnson with that wonderful spell mid-September through to early October. He scored in 6 games in a row for Tottenham in all competitions. The goals have dried up a little bit since then. He's got 1 in his last 7 games for his club. But that was a template there that Craig Bellamy will look to exploit further. Can they get those through balls? Can Johnson stay on side? And can Wales capitalise in that regard? An evening of which Wales begun hoping that they could get to the top of the group. This disappointing start being a goal down, they now are concentrating on can they salvage second place in the group? Can they turn it around here against Iceland and get back up into that second place, which would put them into the promotion playoffs in March? This is Nico Williams. That looked to be a foul, and Josh Sheehan, referee, agrees. Free kick to Wales just outside their own penalty area. Right full-back position for them. We've played quarter of an hour here on 5 Live from the BBC. We've been hearing of Rafa Nadal's final game being played tonight. We've got a special show celebrating the career of the enigmatic Spaniard tomorrow night on 5 Live. On Thursday there'll be commentary of Arsenal against Juventus in the Women's Champions League. And on Friday we'll preview the weekend's Premier League games, which are back after the international break, and we'll also be looking forward to the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So plenty of sport coming up over the next few nights here on 5 Live as down goes Liam Cullen. Wales fans shouting for a free kick, referee not interested. Iceland tried to launch a counter-attack, but it's been won back in the midfield again. And Wales have it with Harry Wilson, who's not been starting very much for Fulham, but when he does come off the bench for Marco Silva's team in the Premier League, he's been in the goals, and he remains a key player for Craig Bellamy and the Wales team here tonight. Wilson playing a deeper role than we would normally see him at club level, a bit like how we said about Johan Berger Munson for Iceland. Wilson's playing central midfielder, certainly part of a central midfield 3 at times, alongside Josh Sheehan. Ball goes out of play on the far side, and that's going to be a free kick to Iceland. There was a late challenge in on Alphonse Samsted as he cleared the ball away. So Wales 0, Iceland 1. England already promoted to League A from next time. Northern Ireland promoted to League B. Scotland will be in a playoff in March to see if they'll be League A or League B next time in the Nations League. Republic of Ireland have a playoff in March to see if they'll be in League B or in League C next time. So these Nations League games, which have been underway since September, the group stage of it coming to an end tonight. Here is the Icelandic goal scorer, Andre Gudjons. Good ball back to Fredriksson. Tries to send it down the flank, but too close to the touchline. And Torstensson is unable to keep the ball in play, and out it goes for a throw-in to Wales.
Just at the minute, Conor, you spoke earlier about the physicality of this Iceland team. I think Wales need to come to terms with that a little bit, because at the moment Iceland seems to be winning the 50-50 balls and just outstrengthening us at the moment a little bit. So we need to, I think, address that and stand up a little bit more in some of these tackles at the moment.
Well, Iceland scored early tonight, but Wales will take solace of the fact that Iceland did score early against Turkey last month as well. They were 1-0 up inside 3 minutes, and the Turks came back to win that game 4-2, so Wales can hope of that sort of a turnaround. Throw in for Nico Williams, away to our left-hand side. Williams throws it infield towards Harry Wilson. Good pressure on him from Gudmundsson. Iceland not giving Wales any time on the ball in the midfield at all. Here is Ben Davies, 92nd cap for the Tottenham man. Just a few groans as Davies cut back at himself there. The crowd wanted to see him be a bit braver to launch forward, but he's experienced, Davies. He knew that wasn't on that occasion. Here's Nico Williams midway inside the Icelandic half. Brennan Johnson skips forward, taken down by Gudmundsson. Free kick to Wales in a dangerous position. This is about 10 yards outside the penalty area on the right hand side. It's too far out for a shot. It's been taken quickly. Johnson pulls it in too quickly. Referee had already squirted his little ref spray on the ground, so Wales unable to take it quickly, and it will go back. I mean, I say too far out for a shot. In the Gareth Bale days, he would have been interested, but the other mere mortals in red, I don't think they've got that in their locker.
Absolutely, anywhere in the opposition half, and Bale's eyes would light up, Bale, and he'd always fancy his chances, and you wouldn't bet against him too often either. Seen some magic moments from him in a Welsh shirt. Yeah,
more on Gareth Bale after this free kick. Actually, Bale scored a brilliant goal against Iceland when they last came here almost a decade ago. But let's see what Wales do with this free kick. Harry Wilson standing over it. 11 international goals for him in the past. Josh Sheehan standing there too. And they've all gone up here. No one left back in defence for Wales. Wilson floats it in towards Davis at the back post, well policed by Gudjonsson. Gudjonsson's hurt himself as the ball goes out for a corner. Corner to Wales on the left-hand side. They trail by a goal to 0 on 5 Live.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure building hopefully now. That was a decent free kick played to the back post for Ben Davies being the target. Decent defending though, as you say, from Gudjonsson, but took a little bit of a whack in the process, but a corner now for Wales on this left-hand side.
Wales have yet to lose under Craig Bellamy, but they are trailing this evening in Cardiff. Here comes the corner. Right-footed, in-swinging from Sheehan, headed the way by the first defender though. Nico Williams picks it up midway inside the Icelandic half. Here's Harry Wilson, number 8 at his back, veering across the field from right to left. Helped on by Dan James. Good work this by Wales. They've all still stayed up for the corner. Davis is up in an attacking position, but he's lost it. Now this is dangerous because Wales have players forward and Iceland are going to look to counter-attack here. Fredriksson brings it up to the halfway line on the left-hand side. Dan James does good sprinting work to come across and close it down. And the free kick goes Wales' way. And James fouled by Fredriksson, and they take it quickly. And this is Brennan Johnson on the right wing for Wales, number 11 on his back. White boots tonight for Johnson. Frustrated body language. He wanted someone to make a run from there, they didn't, so he to retreat and play it back to Joe Roden inside the Welsh half. If you're just joining our coverage here on 5 Live at BBC Sounds, Wales 0, Iceland 1. We've now played 20 minutes of this game. Wales have possession. Cullen back in field again to Cabango. He's near the centre circle. Plays it back out to the left-hand side to Ben Davis. So Wales chasing the game here. Let's go back to Spain. Update of the Davis Cup. Russell Fuller.
7-6, 6-3, and those are the cheers for Carlos Alcaraz, who's beaten Talon Griekspoor, having been a breakdown in the first set. So it's Spain 1, the Netherlands 1. We expect to see Alcaraz for the doubles half an hour from now.
Thanks very much, Russell. Wales still trailing Iceland by Andre Gudjonsson's goal to 0. Here in Cardiff, Ben Davis in possession for Wales. Forced to turn, rolls it back to Cabango. Now to the near side, Nico Williams immediately pressing on him. John Dagor Torstensson. Wales hold on to possession, but still inside their own half. Davis over to the left-hand side to Dan James, former Manchester United and Fulham man, of course. Cabango now in the centre circle. Josh Sheehan just drops into the pocket there. Rolls it forward to Davis once again. Short passing from Wales. Over to the left wing now. Dan James tries to cut in. That's a good ball. Towards the edge of the D. Mark Harris, the Oxford United player, holds on to it, but he was put under a lot of pressure. Samsted was nibbling away at his ankles. Wales still have it with Dan James on the left-hand side. Back into Ben Davis. Best period of passing from Craig Bellamy's team. James, chance to cross, sends it in low, and Paulson puts it out for a corner. That's more like it from Wales.
That's better, yeah. The first time we've really got Dan James particularly into the game, in behind their defence, and taking a quick short corner now.
And it's floated in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. A header out and indeed away by Traustason. And then Wales regain possession. And they have it with Harry Wilson near the halfway line. Midway through the first half now. Roden picks up Brennan Johnson on the right wing. Fredriksson is the defender. Johnson, close touch control, draws in the defender, then skips away from him, steps into the penalty area, lays it back to the edge of the box. Liam Cullen tries the shot. It is on target, but no power at all. It trickles and bobbles and gently floats its way through into the hands of Hakon Valdimarsson, the Icelandic goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's a little bit frustrated with himself, Liam Cullen. The ball into him from Brennan Johnson was a decent one, but his first touch, he got the ball stuck under his feet a little bit, so he couldn't generate any power for the shot at all, and it went tamely into the keeper's hands.
And boos in the background coming from Wales fans who feel that Iceland are wasting a bit of time here. Ori Oskarsson has gone down off the ball and he needs a bit of treatment, and both teams are coming across for impromptu team talk sessions on the touchline. So Kit, this is the question I have to ask you. What will Craig Bellamy be saying to his players? He's got them in the huddle. What do you think these instructions at this stage, given what's happened, given his team are a goal behind?
Yeah, well, I think he's certainly telling them not to panic and to keep trying to do the right things. I mean, Iceland are making it very difficult. They're dropping off into a 4-4-2 like mid-block, so there's not an awful lot of room for Wales to play sort of balls in behind. We've tried a couple. Brennan Johnson nearly got in, just offside, but there's not an awful lot of room in behind. So we've got to be a little bit more creative, a little bit more inventive with some of our passing and movement at the moment. So I think you'd be telling the players not to panic, and also try not to get too frustrated with this setup from Iceland, which is causes a few problems at the minute.
Well, Oskarsson has a problem. It would appear he's going to have to be replaced here. 3 goals in 4 starts in this Nations League group, scored in each of his last 2 games. Scored against Montenegro on Saturday, scored an early goal against Turkey 2 games ago, but he is going to have to go off here. He'll be replaced by Mikkel Egil Ellertson, who plays his club football in Italy with Venezia. So that is a setback for Iceland to lose their number 9, their main centre forward, midway through this first half. So that change is confirmed. Ellertson, who's more of a midfielder, so it could be that Andre Gudjonsson is going to go forward and take the central striking role. We'll have it. Well, looks like Ellerson's going to go and play through the middle for now, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Oskarsson, his night is over, and there'll be a bit of relief from Cabango and Roden and Davis about that, because Oskarsson looked sharp and he looked dangerous while we had him on the pitch.
He did, certainly, yeah. He caused the Welsh defence a few problems, and I think it was him who had the initial header, which the goal came from. So he's a real threat. So it's a shame for them, certainly, but Wales needs to capitalise on this now.
Here is Thorsteinsson down the left-hand side. Nice little twist and turn to get away from Nico Williams. Onto his right leg, back onto his left leg. Sent in a low cross, cleared away just about to the edge of the box, and then following up with loads of power but no accuracy. Ingerson sends it well wide of the target, and that goes out for a goal kick to Wales, who still trail 1-0 here. I was mentioning Gareth Bale when we had the build-up to the Wales free kick a moment ago. I remember being here at this stadium 10 years ago. Gareth Bale scored a very famous goal against Iceland. I can't remember if it was this part of around the time when you would have been in the coaching staff, but it was the one when he ran off the pitch and came back on again, obviously left the ball on the playing surface and scored an absolutely brilliant goal. And then a month later he scored a carbon copy of it in the Copa del Rey final for Real Madrid against Barcelona. So he obviously honed the skill here, and he delivered it for Real Madrid when he went back to his club. But that was a brilliant goal.
I would like to say I taught him that, but it was before our time, and I'm not sure you can teach that anyway. That's for sure. But what an incredible goal! I saw it again this morning, and it was an absolutely fantastic goal. And it's breathtaking what he used, some of the things he used to do. That boy, he was absolutely incredible.
When fully fit, he was world class, absolutely. And playing in the red of Wales often brought out the very best in him. Wales 0, Iceland 1 tonight in the final group game in the Nations League. Wales hoping to win to keep alive their hopes of moving up to League A next time. Mind you, that can be a poison chalice. You go up to, ask Scotland about it. You go up to League A, it's all well and good, but then suddenly you're playing up against League A opposition, and you're the weakest team in a strong team of group of 4 teams. Here comes Brennan Johnson for Wales, attacking down the right-hand side. Gets past Fredriksson, manages to deliver across into the centre, not being well dealt with. Paulson tries to prod it away. Thorsteinsson now puts a boot in it. Again, Wales, at the most dangerous in this game, are coming down the right wing and bringing Brennan Johnson, the Tottenham winger, into play. Good work by Williams. Poor touch, though, from Johnson, who fails to take advantage of that. And now Harry Wilson has a problem. He's off the pitch, so play won't be halted, but he's sort of leaned down there and he was feeling the instep of his left boot, and I think he's got a problem. He comes back onto the pitch and goes down, and it looks like the Fulham player Harry Wilson is going to need some treatment here. That's not good news for Wales.
No, he's holding his left foot. I think his foot got trod on or something. It looks a bit sore. I think he's okay. He's sort of walking away with a little bit of a limp, but I think he'd be okay.
Yes, Wilson didn't need the attention of the physios in the end. He waved them away. So play resumes. Fredriksson takes the throw in for Iceland. Jump in the midfield by Traustason. And then another leap from the tall midfielder, but his header goes straight to Joe Roden, and Wales recapture possession inside their own half once again. Other games being played tonight around Europe. The Netherlands have taken the lead against Bosnia. Germany are 0-0 against Hungary. Sweden 2-0 up already against Azerbaijan. Ukraine 2-0 up against Albania. Most of the games tonight are 0-0, including Montenegro and Turkey, the other game in this group, which is of significance to Wales. Brennan Johnson on the edge of the penalty area, pulls it back to Ben Davies. He was stretching there. Oh, they're going to lose it here, Wales. Davis wasn't able to pick out a safe pass to a teammate, but Ellertson, who's only come on the pitch a few minutes ago, he has struggled to keep the momentum flowing there in the midfield, and Wales are able to get it back again. Roar of encouragement from the crowd. Here comes Harry Wilson. Wales looking to pick up a second win in this game. hoping to reset after conceding the early goal tonight. Johnson back to Wilson, 5 yards outside the penalty area, slightly right of centre, picks up a pass towards Dan James. That was a clever idea. James had arrived late at the back post, but Wilson wasn't able to beat the defender. Iceland clear it away. Wales have it back inside their own half again. Kit Simons.
Yeah, just back to that last attack from Iceland. Excellent defending in the end from Joe Roden, who stepped in to clear the damage. But Wales pushing to try and get this equaliser are leaving themselves quite sort of open at the back and susceptible to the counter-attack. So the last thing we want to do now is concede a second goal. So need to be a little bit mindful of that. But like I say, certainly we've also got to be positive and try and get back into this game.
Later on this evening, the Women's Football Weekly from 10 p.m. tonight. Ben Haynes, Jen Beattie and Ellen White taking a look at the big weekend that there was in the WSL and the England squad announcement as well. That's the Women's Football Weekly from 10 o'clock tonight here on 5 Live. Wales at possession, midway inside their own half. Ben Davies, the captain, launches one over the top. Now Dan James looks to have been fouled off the ball there, and the referee brings play to a halt. Mark Harris might have got onto that anyway, but it's going to be a yellow card. Yellow card shown to Alphonse Samsted, the Birmingham City defender. Plays with them in League One, and he's been shown a yellow card for that challenge off the ball on Dan James.
Yeah, that's what Dan James does to defenders. His pace worries the life out of them and forces them into making rash decisions. I mean, on that one, for example, he could have left the ball quite comfortably because he had a covering defender coming round, but he was so worried about Dan's pace that he sort of blocked him and off the ball and picked up a yellow card. So now Dan needs to make the most of this now and really start getting the ball to feet if he can, or looking to play it in behind, but certainly getting at his fullback now who's on a yellow card.
Yes, Alphonse Samsted, who's yet to start the game for Birmingham. He's on loan at St Andrews. He's made 11 appearances in the main competitions, but they've all been off the bench. So can Dan James put a bit of pressure on him as Paulson here inside his own penalty area hesitates for Iceland? But they keep their cool and helped out by Ingerson. And then Samsted. Iceland do work their way out of the defensive third, but then it all breaks down to the halfway line and Wales regain possession once again. Iceland leading by 1-0 on a cold night in Cardiff. I think I've noticed here today a lot of the Welsh fans, they have the sort of bucket hats, which of course are great beach wear and great in the sunshine, not so effective on the cold nights like this. And I've noticed quite a few woolly beanies underneath the bucket caps, so the sort of double effects to keep up the look. And I've seen quite a few people sporting that. Here comes Brennan Johnson down the right hand side. He's got Nico Williams ahead of him. Johnson wants it back again. That's the pass that's played, level with the edge of the area. That's a great ball in, chance for Wales, and it's into the back of the net from Liam Cullen. It's his first senior international goal, and there was a real quality about that. Williams, who stretched the defence, then back to Brennan Johnson, who delivered with pinpoint accuracy, and Cullen arriving needed a gentle, delicate touch, and that's what he produced, flashing it beyond Valdimarsson, the Icelandic goalkeeper. Wales are back on level terms. Wales 1, Iceland 1.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant goal. I mean, the cross, as soon as it leaves Brennan Johnson's foot, from his weaker left foot as well, it's just absolutely sumptuous and just waiting for someone to get on the end of it. And Liam Cullen times his run perfectly, he just glances his header as well, away from the keeper and then off the far post. But an absolutely fantastic ball, and it's a great header.
Now, hold the phone. Some very interesting breaking news to tell you on 5 Live is that in the other game in this group, Turkey, top of the group, playing Montenegro, bottom of the group, Montenegro have taken the lead against the Turks. So what it means is if Wales, who've just come from 1-0 down to be level 1-1 here, if Wales could go on and win the game, if Montenegro could hold on to their lead at home against Turkey, well, Craig Bellamy's team could win the group and get that promotion up into League A for the next playing of the Nations League. It's an event that we scarcely wanted to consider before the game because it felt so unlikely. But the Montenegrins at the moment are doing a big favour, and Wales have done themselves a favour with that Liam Cullen goal, and this is all very interesting now, Kit Simons.
Very exciting stuff, yeah. So it's certainly livening the atmosphere up within the stadium tonight now. Certainly the crowd have picked up and in good voice. So yeah, hopefully Wales can push on and win this game, and fingers crossed Montenegro can do us a favour.
Yeah, as it stands, 1-1 here would leave Turkey still top of the group. Wales will be in second place, Iceland back to third now. The Icelandic team had been second while they held the lead here, but that's now been reversed. Here is Harry Wilson near the halfway line, plays it back to Ben Cabango. Craig Bellamy did make a big play in the press conference yesterday, said he wouldn't be giving his players updates and these scores elsewhere. He just wants them to concentrate on the task at hand here. But I wonder, I mean, surely you tell, if Montenegro, I mean, maybe not at this stage, but later on in the game, if Montenegro are leading, surely that's going to leak and seep its way through into the earlobes of the players, and surely they would get to hear about that. 1-1 for the moment anyway, with just over 10 minutes to go until half-time in Cardiff. Ben Davies's possession for Wales, up towards Dan James, tried the little flick, but marked by Ingerson. Ingerson was able to get the touch there. Wales are going to lose possession. Free kick to Iceland inside the Welsh half. Big night for Liam Cullen. He'll remember that one for the rest of his life. 3 goals for Swansea this season, 2 in the Championship, 1 in the League Cup. But that is his first senior international goal for Wales.
Really good header as well, because it wasn't an easy one at all, and he had to literally sort of skim it off his head and guide it into the far corner, get just enough on it, which he did absolutely perfectly. So I say it was a fantastic ball from Brennan Johnson, beautiful ball, but he still had quite a lot to do, Liam Cullen. It was a really good finish.
Here comes the Iceland free kick, played into the penalty area, and it deflects out. Well, that was a strange one. It came off Gudjonsson, the goal scorer who put Iceland ahead. It just almost felt like Wales' defence stopped, and I wonder, was he miles offside or something? But we'll get to see a replay. No, that would have been clearly onside. There was nobody picking up Gudjonsson, and that's actually a big miss. He steals in, no red shirt tracking him. What a chance for Iceland. Big relief for Wales not to go 2-1 down there.
It certainly is a far better chance than I think he realised, Gudjonsson.
Yeah. Just time seemed to stand still, and when somebody runs and no one goes with them, you always think, well, something's wrong here, that, you know, this isn't going to stand, but it would have done. Free kick to Wales. Rough challenge in the midfield has come in on Mark Harris. Harris earning his 9th cap for his country this evening. The Oxford United player, Oxford 16th place in the Championship table at the moment. He's got 4 goals for them in the league. They all came in the opening 4 games back in August. But he's fouled there. Wales have taken the free kick. Accurate distribution out by Danny Ward to Ben Davies on the left-hand side. Wales having come from 1-0 down, hoping that they can go on and take the lead, and ideally do that even ahead of half-time. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. This is Nico Williams, always giving the ball away inside his own half. Torstensson cutting inside of Williams. Good recovery though from the Forest man. Loose ball spills to Gudmundsson. Nice delivery into the penalty area. There's 4 white shirts in there. Comes back across the edge of the box again. Torstensson, angle is tied. Tries to pull it back. Takes a deflection on the defender. Loops towards the far post where Cabango was standing, and he's been able to head it off the goal line. Iceland coming close again. And you have to say the visitors, whenever they get in around Danny Ward's goal, they look like scoring.
And certainly from crosses they look very, very dangerous. I mean, it ended up being an excellent header from Ben Cabango to clear the danger, but it was a very worrying few moments, and some good balls getting crossed into the box, and Wales not looking as sort of calm as they have done recent games defensively.
No, you have to say Iceland have reacted to conceding the equaliser here well, and they've actually stepped up their play. Their heads haven't dropped. They're not feeling sorry for themselves. Iceland, who took the lead tonight through Andre Gudjonsson, son of Eidur. And then it's Liam Cullen who has equalised for Wales in what's been a busy first half here at Cardiff City Stadium. Valgeir Fredriksson is going to take the throw in for Iceland on the left-hand side. They're wearing all white. Left-footed delivery into the box again, and it's headed out again. And there's a dispute over whether there was a foul, and the referee says there was. And that's going to be a free kick to Wales foul on Brennan Johnson, who was back helping out the defence in the right back position there. So free kick to Wales. Danny Ward will come outside his penalty area to take, and here's Kit Silence.
I mean, like we were saying, Wales just need to go and win this game, but also Iceland are under no illusions. They know exactly what they need to do. They need to win this game as well to get the second spot, to then get into the promotion playoff. So they're quite, in their minds, they know exactly where they are, what they need to do. So there's no sort of grey area for them really either. They, you know, a win's the only thing result in their mind, so they're going to go for it, Iceland, tonight. Right,
fly in the ointment time, because we were telling you Montenegro were leading against Turkey. Turkey have just equalised. So the Montenegrin lead lasted for about 8 minutes, but Turkey away from home are back on level terms there, so that means even if Wales were to win this game, that wouldn't be enough as things stand to win the group. But, you know, we've already seen this can be a sliding doors of an evening. There could be a few twists and turns left in it just yet. Cabango on the edge of the penalty area, controls the ball, gives it to Ben Davis. Davis clears up towards Dan James, sprinting back into his own half, and he was almost rushing towards the ball as it came to him, and his first touch lets him down, and now it goes for a throw into Iceland just inside the Welsh half. 1-1 here.
Yeah, it all just got a little bit too condensed there, and that's what Iceland have done very well. They've squeezed the spaces, and you know, Ben Davis didn't really have another pass on. All he had was the ball into Dan James's feet, and as you said, Dan was coming towards the ball at great pace, makes it very, very difficult to deal with.
Here come Iceland again. They're having a good spell. Thorsteinsson sprints in off the left touchline, rolls it back into the centre circle, and then it's rolled all the way back to the goalkeeper Valdimarsson outside his penalty area. Pump it forward, right-footed Nico Williams. Looked like a little nudge on him. Flag is raised to the far side anyway, and Craig Bellamy applauds his defence, stepping up as one there. They all stood out together and they caught Iceland offside.
Yeah, they squeezed up very quickly there, Wales. That was better defensively. They got the line right that time. All squeezed up together, left 2 or 3 Iceland players offside. But Thorsteinsson certainly looks dangerous down this left-hand side for Iceland.
Yeah, he's the back of his shirt is covered in mud, and you don't see that often. You know, the pitches are so good these days, but whatever way he's landed on his back early in the game, he's got a big patch of mud on his back, and it feels like a throwback. It's like watching someone play a game in the 70s. Here he is, Thorsteinsson, number 11 on his back, attacking the penalty area. Nico Williams backing away from him. Thorsteinsson chips it in towards the back post. Gudmundsson was ready to volley. It was whipped away from him, and then Gudjonsson puts it over the crossbar. What a chance there. And you know, better communication. Iceland might have scored there. Gudjonsson was ready to volley it. A teammate took it away from him. It fell to Gudjonsson, and he'll be disappointed not to have hit the target there. Good chance for Iceland.
We're just saying about Thorsteinsson looking so dangerous down his left-hand side. Puts a great ball across, and there's 2 Icelandic players unmarked at the far post, and he could actually bring it down. And they got a 2v1 at best then, because if Ben Davis comes out. But he tries to head it back across, and even then they get a shot, but it goes over the bar, and Wales will be pleased to see that. But they're looking very, very dangerous still, Iceland.
They are looking dangerous. Wales are looking vulnerable in defence, but here come Wales now on the attack. Brennan Johnson into the penalty area, shoots, and it's well saved. Valdimarsson pushes it away and out for a corner. That was a lightning fast counter-attack. In the blink of an eye, Wales went from their own penalty area to the Iceland penalty area, and Brennan Johnson's shot was powerful. It was on target. It was saved out for this corner.
Yeah, it's brilliant from Mark Harris initially, winning the ball, then riding a challenge and running away with it. He just plays the ball to Brennan Johnson just a little bit slowly, so Brennan's almost waiting for it, and he gets his shot away and it's cleared for a corner. But it's brilliant work initially from Mark Harris, but just a bit more care with a pass.
Harry Wilson takes the corner short to Josh Sheehan, back to the edge of the area where it's floated in by Nico Williams towards the back post. Iceland have been able to clear it away. Dan James picks it up for Wales. Still most of their players in attacking positions here. Cabango had remained forward, but the pass played through to him is overstruck for Wilson and harmlessly goes out for a goal kick. Goal kick for Iceland away to our right-hand side. There are 3 minutes of normal time remaining until the break here in Cardiff in this Nations League game, the final night of the group. Iceland, who took the lead, if you're joining our coverage late. Andrew Gudjonsson scored it. Liam Cullen, though, equalising for Wales, 1-1 at the moment. Also 1-1 in the Turkey-Montenegro game, the other game in the group, which means the group table, as things stand at the moment, remains as it was at the start of the night, with Turkey at top, Wales second, Iceland in third. Valdimarsson takes the goal kick for Iceland, comes straight back towards him. Victor Paulsen rolls it to the goalkeeper. Dan James, who we know is fast, sprints in on him. Valdimarsson, left-footed clearance up towards the halfway line. Joe Roden jumps and beats the taller frame of Thorsteinsson in the air there. Now, Samsted's got some sprinting to do here. Ben Davis gets to the ball first. Left-hand side for Wales. Support available from Harry Wilson. Doesn't like the options ahead of him, so he rolls it back to the halfway line into Swansea's Ben Cabango. Wales 1, Iceland 1. Cabango again to the feet of Ben Davis on the left-hand side, back into the centre once again. Wales are being patient here. 2 minutes to go of normal time until the break. Cabango now tries to prod one over the top. James got a sprint after it. Samsted is treading one. What a pass that was from Cabango. First time back into the centre from Dan James. Fredrickson gets there ahead of Brennan Johnson and is able to clear it away. Wales are using the wings to very good effect in this game.
I think we need to. You know, you've got the pace of Brennan Johnson and Dan James, who we've already said has got his fullback on a yellow card. So they've got to try and utilise the pace we've got out wide and try and get in behind this Icelandic defence, especially in the fullback areas.
Another ball into the penalty area. This was too close to the goalkeeper, Hakon Valdimarsson, who is on Brentford's books. He joined them last January. He's yet to play in the Premier League for Thomas Frank's side, but Valdimarsson between the sticks for Iceland tonight. He's been beaten by Liam Cullen's goal, otherwise he's dealt with whatever's been sent his way. Played in 2 League Cup games for the first team this season of Brentford, Valdimarsson. Here's a high clearance from him up over the halfway line, free header for Ben Davies to win it for Wales. Ball's come straight back to Davies. This time he picks out Dan James, controlled on the upper thigh by Mark Harris. Down on the deck for Harry Wills. Now Nico Williams on the right hand side for Wales. Wales have come from 1-0 down to be sitting 1-1 here at home on a night where they are hoping to secure at least a playoff spot in March in the Nations League, a playoff which could bring them into League A next time. Back they go to the edge of the penalty area, back to Danny Ward wearing all black. He's got yellow gloves to match his yellow boots, and he launches it long into the Iceland half. And this is going to fall nicely for Mark Harris here, who controls it. Now passes to Brennan Johnson. Great touch, has a crack. Fredriksson gets his body in the way, though. Johnson tries to get a second bite to the cherry there. The loose ball is going to spill for Harry Wilson, who weaved his way into a shooting position, but sent the shot straight to the goalkeeper, and Valdimarsson makes the save. We move into stoppages. 2 minutes being added on here ahead of the break, but Wales come close again.
Yeah, great feat again from Harry Wilson. Just danced his way through. Couldn't quite get hold of the shot. It was a little bit sort of stuck under his body, and he couldn't really generate the power. A little bit too straight. But really good opportunity and good play again from Wales.
Return to the Premier League of the weekend. We'll have Arsenal against Nottingham Forest for you as our pick of the 3 o'clock games with Ian Dennis round the grounds on Saturday, and that'll be followed by Manchester City against Tottenham. That's the 5:30 game. You can listen to both of those here on BBC Radio 5 Live. 1-1 in Cardiff in the Nations League. Fredriksson on the halfway line. Good slide by Harry Wilson, and he's won the ball back for Wales. Harris in stoppage time ahead of the break, gives it to Dan James. Wales are going to score. The last touch goes in from that man again. It is Liam Cullen. 2 goals for the Swansea City man in this first half as Craig Bellamy's team turn it around from trailing 1-0. It's now Wales 2, Iceland 1.
Yeah, fantastic goal. It all comes Iceland play a square ball, and that's a signal, that's the trigger for Wales to press. And it's a great interception initially to win the ball back. And then the ball's played to Den James, who goes through, gets his shot away, but the keeper just gets something on it. A great play again initially from Mark Harris. He picks out Dan James. I said about the weighted pass last time. This time, Mark Harris's weighted pass was absolutely perfect to Dan James. Dan James shoots to his left foot, hits the keeper's trailing leg, his left leg, but then it falls to Liam Cullen, who just chucks the ball away. Really good goal for Wales and a fantastic time to score.
Liam Cullen from Kilgetty, a village in Pembrokeshire, has come of age tonight for the national team. His first 2 international goals, and one is his 7th cap for his country. Wales lead Iceland 2-1. What a great time to take the lead as well. Stoppage time ahead of the break.
I was just thinking that we're maybe not getting the best out of Harry Wilson with him playing in this slightly deeper role. But then if the man who's playing ahead of you, Liam Cullen, is scoring 2 goals, you probably take that.
So there we go. The whistle for half-time. Andre Gudjohnsen, the son of Ida Gudjohnsen, gave Iceland the lead after Danny Ward had made a save but couldn't fully push it away. Gudjohnsen followed up, put it through the goalkeeper's legs. Iceland did not hold on to their lead for very long, though. This very quickly became the Liam Cullen show, and 2 goals from the Swansea City forward, who came on as a sub for the last 20 minutes in Turkey on Saturday, but into the starting team by Craig Bellamy tonight. Bellamy knows a goal scorer when he sees one, and Cullen has given Wales the lead in the break here, Ken.
Yeah, really good from Wales. I mean, a great time to score the goal, like I say. I mean, overall that first half was probably Iceland maybe shaded the opportunities. I'm not sure, they certainly looked very, very dangerous. Wales didn't look as fluid as they have done recently, but to go in at half-time with 2-1 lead, I think Craig Bellamy will be very happy with that.
And Montenegro, who earlier led Turkey 1-0, Turkey got it back to 1-1. The Montenegrins have only gone and taken the lead again, so at half-time they're leading in that one. It means there's so much to play for here in Cardiff in the second half, because if Craig Bellamy's team can hold on to this lead here, as things stand in Group B4, Wales are top and heading towards League A next time. Half-time in Cardiff for now, though. Wales 2, Iceland 1.
Connor, what a 45 minutes for Wales it's been, not only ahead in their game, but the results going their way elsewhere, as you've been describing as well. And Kit, what a few weeks it's been for Liam Cullen. He was going to be out of contract in the summer, managed to renegotiate with Swansea just a couple of weeks ago, comes into this game against Iceland, gets a couple of goals for Wales to turn things around and set them up beautifully at half-time.
Absolutely fantastic. Like I say, it wasn't a particularly fluid display from Wales, and I was saying I was a little bit sort of disappointed with Harry Wilson's contribution playing so deep. He's not running the games like he has been recently, or looking quite so effective. But then he's playing deeper because Liam Cullen was playing more advanced, and he pops up with 2 goals. So, like I say, sometimes you have to accept the balance maybe that might give you. So, but fair play to him. He took his first one was a fantastic header, a glancing header, but he had to judge it perfectly, which he did. And the second one, really well-timed run into the box, and the ball fell for him off of the keeper, and he tucked it away nicely. So, fair play, yeah. It's, if things stay as they are now, happy days. So, fingers crossed.
Enjoy it for now, Kit. Thank you very much. Kit Simons and Conor McNamara will be back with us at the Cardiff City Stadium for the second half of Wales against Iceland. Wales leading Iceland by 2-1, as we've been hearing. And, importantly, Montenegro 2-1 up against Turkey, which is a great result for Wales. And Conor McNamara will keep you across all the permutations as the evening goes on. So back there for the second half, we'll round up the big stories in the women's game as well after the BBC News with Johnny Freeman.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks and good evening. The Prime Minister has defended his decision to means test winter fuel payments, saying new government analysis doesn't take into account policies that support pensioners. The Department for Work and Pensions' own figures estimate the move will put 50,000 more people into relative poverty next year. Under the new rules, only those eligible for pension credits will receive the £300 payment. Earlier, Sir Keir Starmer said the report didn't take into account a number of factors.
The considerable uptake in pension credit was not accounted for in those figures. We've had a campaign, as you know, to drive up pension credit, to get more pensioners onto pension credit, which obviously is not only a guarantee of the winter fuel allowance, but also gives the credit itself. So there's an additional benefit there.
Government ministers have been giving fresh backing to planned changes to inheritance tax despite a major protest in central London earlier. Thousands of farmers took part in a rally calling for a rethink on a 20% levy, which is due to be introduced on agricultural assets worth more than £1 million. Edward runs a farm in Somerset. He says the charge would have a big impact on his business.
The day after the budget, my 16-year-old son walked in the kitchen in tears thinking, what does this mean for him? My mother is still alive at 81 and the farm is still not to me, so it's got to go through generations to get to him. If this tax does go through, then it will impact the farm massively.
The Russian foreign minister says Ukraine's use of American-made missiles to strike inside Russian territory is an escalation in the conflict between the countries. US officials have confirmed that it's the first time the weapons have been used on Russian soil. Ukraine says it targeted an ammunition warehouse. The Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, has announced plans to reform policing in England and Wales. In a speech, she mentioned they'd include more than £500 million of extra funding. And the Met Office has fresh yellow weather warnings for snow and ice in place across parts of the UK tonight. Around 200 schools were closed today because of heavy snowfall, which also affected some roads and rail lines.
I'm Greg James. With me in the studio today are Phoenix White and Machin Tendulkar. Down the line from the House of Wickets, built and bought, it's Jimmy Anderson. Tailenders.
The first time that the song is sung, go on, and the crowd went, oh, Jimmy Anderson.
Lauren Bell. Welcome to Tailenders. It's been a missed opportunity not to get you on Tailenders earlier because you have good Tailenders energy.
I'm going to take that as a compliment, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a slight on your batting.
Yeah, well, my batting fits as well.
That's Tailenders. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
Welcome back to 5 Live Sport. We're back to the Cardiff City Stadium very shortly for Wales against Iceland. The second half there, Wales 2-1 up against Iceland, and crucially Montenegro lead Turkey by 2-1, which means as things stand in League B Group 4, Wales are top of the group on 12 points, Turkey in second place with 11, Iceland in third with 7, Montenegro bottom with 3. As things stand, a lot could change over the next 45 minutes. If it does, you will hear it here with live commentary of that game between Wales and Iceland. Manchester City forward Lauren Hemp has been left out of Sarina Wiegman's latest England squad for friendlies against USA and Switzerland after knee surgery. Laura Blinkilde-Brown, also of Manchester City, and Leicester's Ruby Mace have been given their first call-ups by the England manager.
Laura is, of course, Man City competition's high there, but she does get some minutes. She's tight on the ball. A little bit more attacking midfielder. I hope she starts competing straight away. Ruby Mace is a little more defensive midfielder. Good in duels. Weekly playing minutes now. And of course with both and with every player we also see things that we think, okay, can you improve that quickly? But we'll have those conversations which they have at club and also with under 23s, but also with us in our environment. Yeah, of course they were excited.
So obviously some new players, some injuries. Can we expect to see a little bit of rotation in this window?
Mm-hmm. Playing these friendlies gives us the opportunity to experiment, to try out things, really to get as much information also about the team and figure out, okay, what's the best way to play with this team, information about players to get ready, of course, for the Euros, trying out lots of things, playing many players.
We perhaps gave you a bit of a hard time in the last international break. There was a little bit of criticism and obviously a bit more scrutiny on the performances. As you as a manager, as the players in the squad, how do you go about dealing with that criticism?
Criticism is part of our job too. We have to find a way to deal with that. Last camp also, and that's going to be this camp too. We don't have to be fully ready now and get clarity on everything because we're having friendlies and we're experimenting. So we're not going to get everything right. We just want to see growth, improvement. And yes, absolutely, every game we play, we want to win. The game is increasing and is developing really quickly, so we have to adapt too. And that's why these friendlies are so important. So I understand the criticism, but we as players and staff need to know this is what we're working on, this is what we're trying out. We know where we want to go to and really stay tight in our circle. Because if you're going to listen to everyone's opinion outside, well, the journalists don't have the full context of everything. Of course, they'll have an opinion, but we know exactly what we're working on.
That's England manager Sarina Wiegman talking to Emma Sanders, and Emma joins us now. Hi Emma, no Ella Toone, no Lauren Hemp, no Lauren James, Niamh Charles, Lucy Parker. Can we go as far as to call this an injury crisis?
Good evening, Kelly. I think it's certainly, a concern for Sarina Wiegman. This is meant to be preparation for their defence of the European crown, which obviously they won in 2022. They're trying to defend that in Switzerland next summer. So it's definitely not ideal. I don't think we're yet at the crisis stage. However, the Lauren Hemp injury for sure is definitely a concern considering the opponents that they've got coming up in the USA at Wembley.
What do you make of this idea of experimentation? Do you think that there's some of that going on? Do you think there's some lowering of expectations by Sarina Wiegman?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think certainly lowering the expectations for sure, because, as we heard there in the interview, there was criticism from the last window. Their performances against Germany and South Africa in October were pretty underwhelming, and there was a lot of players that came under fire, under criticism. So perhaps there is an element of Sarina Wiegman just calming people down and reminding them that there is some time to go before the Euros. But I do also think that she is genuinely trying to use these friendly internationals as opportunities to try new things, to work out new formations and experiment a little bit. So I think it's probably a balance between the two.
I know it's a friendly, technically, but it's Sarina Wiegman's England against Emma Hayes' USA at Wembley on Saturday. What a matchup that is.
An absolute blockbuster, isn't it? I can't wait to go and to report on it. I think it's the one that everyone's been looking forward to, haven't they, since it was announced. Emma Hayes, obviously one of the best coaches in the world. Sarina Wiegman has proven herself to be one of the best coaches in the world. And, Sarina has quite often mentioned her working with Emma when she was at Chelsea. Obviously, a lot of those players in Sarina's England squad. So they have a very good relationship off the pitch. And I think this is the first time, really, where we'll get to see just just tactically how they will compete with each other. So yeah, it's just going to be a fantastic match.
Layers to that match as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Emma.
Thank you, Kelly.
Good evening. Much to Emma Sanders. And remember that the Women's Football Weekly podcast will follow 5 Live Sport at 10 o'clock tonight. In the Women's Champions League action that's coming up this week, we have commentary of Arsenal against Juventus on 5 Live Sport on Thursday. Now, Rafael Nadal's career may be over, but it's out of his hands. Russell Fuller's watching Spain's Davis Cup tie out in Malaga. Russell.
He's in the hands of Carlos Alcaraz and the doubles world number 4 Marcel Granollers. So I would suggest they are 2 excellent pairs of hands to be in. I did it for Rafa, Alcaraz said, after beating Talon Griekspoor in the singles that kept this Davis Cup quarter-final alive and therefore kept Rafael Nadal's career alive after he lost to Botic van der Zandschulp in the first match. And they are just warming up now, and they will play van der Zandschulp, who plays his second match of the day, and Wesley Koolhof, world number 8 in doubles, winner of 5 titles this year, and like Nadal, he's retiring at the end of this Davis Cup.
And Russell, as you said, there was a win in the singles for Alcaraz, but loss for Nadal, who we can hear from now.
An emotional day, nerves before what can be my last singles match like a professional. That's the way that I felt that. And then, yeah, of course, the emotions, feeling the national anthem for the last time like a professional have been, very special. And then, of course, a little bit of mixed feelings makes the things a little bit more difficult. But that's it. I mean, we went on court, we lived that moment. I tried to do my best. I tried to, at the same time, to stay as positive as possible in every single moment, to play with the right energy was not enough. And yeah, nothing to say, no. I am not... it's not necessary to analyse much anymore.
Yeah, Russell, he doesn't need to analyse it because that really is it for Rafael Nadal. But it could yet be a romantic end, even if it's not him who's in that doubles match.
Yes, that did sound like he was signing off. No longer a professional tennis player, no point in having post-mortems on matches, but he's still very much part of this Spanish team. I think he's a live option for the doubles, although as Nadal said, there'd be perhaps logic if Spain do win this doubles in the captain picking somebody else for a semi-final on Friday, and that may well be what David Ferrer does, but there is still the potential of them winning the semi-final as well as the quarter-final and being in the final, and that's where Nadal, the doubles player, comes into the equation, certainly, and therefore the likes of Serena Williams, who said she was getting choked up earlier watching Nadal's match, may have to get emotional again over the weekend. I'm not good at goodbyes, she says. Remember, she hasn't officially ever used the word retirement, has she? She was just evolving away from tennis.
Sounds like conscious uncoupling in terms of euphemism. Russell, you've been watching tennis all day in Malaga, so remind us of the semi-final defeat for Great Britain in the Billie Jean King Cup.
It ended in defeat to Slovakia, and therefore in great disappointment for Great Britain, who had thought that they would be able to reach a first Billie Jean King Cup final since 1981, especially after Emma Raducanu won her first match in straight sets. That was 3 wins in straight sets out of 3 for Raducanu. Katie Boulter was trying to do the same. She's had a tougher job this week because she's been playing the other number 1 players, and she lost a tight match to Rebecca Shramkova, and then the doubles went comprehensively Slovakia's way, and Great Britain lost in the semi-finals.
Russell, thank you very much. Russell Fuller there with an update from the tennis. Meanwhile, we can head back to the Cardiff City Stadium for Wales qualifier against Iceland in the Nations League with Kit Symons and Conor McNamara.
Thanks very much, Kelly. Back underway. Wales leading 2-1 against Iceland, having trailed 1-0 early in the night. And with Montenegro leading Turkey as they get underway, same kick-off time. As things stand, Wales are top of the group on this final night of the group. And what could be a very interesting evening for Craig Bellamy. Can he keep up this unbeaten run that he has as Wales head coach? There's been one change in personnel over the break. Johan Berg Gudmundsson, the former Burnley player, played well in the first half, but he's gone off. And it's Preston's Stefan Thordarson who's come on. been a regular with Preston since joining them in July. That's the one change across both teams over the break. Liam Cullen with both goals for Wales. He's the first Wales player to score his first 2 goals for the national team in the same game since Dean Saunders did it in 1986 against Canada. That's how long since a Welshman has got his first 2 international goals in the same match. Here he is in possession. Cullen tried to give it out to Dan James, but that pass is cut out. Kit Simons alongside me. Kit, Iceland, when they did come forward, they looked dangerous regularly in that first half. They'll be hoping that they can still have a few goals in them in this second period. So Craig Bellamy's team have a lot of work to do here to see this through.
Yes, far from done yet for sure, Connor. I say Iceland looked pretty dangerous, like as we knew they would do. Created quite a few chances. I mean, a big blow for them. I think Oscarson going off. That was a big loss for them. So, you know, Wales need to capitalise on that. But they'll keep pushing and they will create chances, Iceland, for sure. But, you know, Wales have started the second half with good tempo. I mean, the way they finished the second half, obviously that goal from Cullen coming right at the death of the first half was absolutely fantastic. Perfect timing for Wales. But they need to now maximise what they've got and you know, continue to keep this advantage and make sure we actually win this game.
Wales free kick. Nico Williams of Nottingham Forest to take it. Rolls it infield to Harry Wilson. No one picking him up in the central location. Now into the penalty area, just too high for Brennan Johnson. That was nearly perfect for Wales. Really clever idea, but just slightly overcooked by the Fulham man.
Yeah, it was well worked free kick. Square ball to Harry Wilson, and then I think it was Liam Cullen tried to do a block on the nearest man coming in, and then Brennan Johnson made a late run, and it was just a little bit too straight and a little bit too overhit the ball. But good idea, something they've clearly worked on the training ground, and it, you know, something you could certainly see coming off for sure.
At the start of the night, it felt a very long shot that Wales could get to the top of the group, but Montenegro, the bottom team in the standings, is still 2-1 up against Turkey. They were 1-0 up, Turkey got it back to 1-1 now, Montenegro 2-1 up, and Wales 2-1 up here. Wales top of the group, Turkey second. Iceland, as it stands, will be going into a relegation playoff in March, but it can all change as the evening progresses. We've only played 3 minutes here in the second half. There's a challenge there between Gudjonsson and Mark Harris. Free kick given to Iceland. They take it and roll it back to the Brentford goalkeeper, Valdemars. Iceland playing from left to right as we look down, all in white. Wales all in red. Good control in the centre of the midfield by Thordarson, who's just come on as a sub. He looks an elegant player, the long blonde hair, very Scandinavian look about it. This is Harry Wilson, pirouetting around 180 degrees, midway inside his own half. Nico Williams up to the halfway line. First time released by Mark Harris to send away the speedster. Brennan Johnson into the penalty area, right-hand side. Can't pick up the cross, though. Fredriksson did well. The Icelandic defender cut it out, but Wales looking dangerous whenever they release Johnson.
Yeah, good break from Brennan, and then you had Liam Cullen and Dan James seems to be taking the same space and almost made the same run, unfortunately. So Brennan hesitated a little bit with his cross and then it ended up getting blocked, but it certainly looks dangerous down that right-hand side.
Here's Dan James. He shoots from miles out and it careers way over the top of the crossbar. That was almost 15 yards outside the penalty area. It was a long distance out for Leeds United. Dan James, 7 international goals he scored in the past. He's got 2 goals for Leeds this season. He scored against Sheffield Wednesday in August. He scored against Plymouth earlier on this month. But Dan James wasn't threatening the goal on that occasion there. Wales 2, Iceland 1 it remains.
I can't remember any of his 7 goals being from that sort of distance, Conor, if I'm perfectly honest. He was very optimistic there from DJ, but you know, looking, he's certainly grown into the game, Dan, and looked more of a threat as the game's gone on, and started his second half quite bright, so hopefully for more positive stuff from him.
Wales with Danny Ward in goal, Cabango, Roden, Davis in defence, Dan James and Nico Williams on the flanks, Harry Wilson, Josh Sheehan in midfield, Harris, Cullen, Brennan Johnson operating as a front 3. Nico Williams under pressure here though from the impressive Thorsteinsson, and now a chance to shoot, and Ellison, and it's pushed away and out for a corner, and Iceland still look very dangerous when they come on the attack. Danny Ward saves well.
Yeah, they do look dangerous, but we created our own problems there. Nico Williams took too long on the ball, tried to bring it down when it wasn't the right decision. Ball got intercepted, and again it was a good strike, but it was one Danny Ward should save, and he does. but they're certainly threatening to Iceland. We know they're going to get opportunities. They will get chances in this game. We just need to limit that and try and defend them properly.
Wales, who survived the late scare on Saturday. Turkey missed the penalty in the 89th minute. Wales, who've been 1-0 down tonight, but currently leading 2-1. 6 minutes played in the second half. Iceland corner, played in, free shot for Gudjonsson. Fresh air shot, though, for the man who scored in the first half. And then a follow-up goes right across goal and out and wide. And again, it was that man, Thorsteinsson, who looked so dangerous, but he didn't get the shot on target there. But any touch off anyone in the middle, and Wales would have been in trouble. And the real chance there was Gudjonsson, who had a fresh air shot about 7 yards out.
Yeah, it was a bit worrying for Wales. I mean, in the end, the shot was so well controlled to volley it, side foot volley, and it's not far away at all. It's only about a yard past Danny Ward's left-hand post, but they're threatening, certainly Iceland. They're not giving up. They know they've got to try and win, so obviously they've got to get one goal back and then try and get a winner. So they're pushing for it, that's for sure.
It's been a good game. Wales give it away again. Nico Williams is hurt. He's down on the edge of the penalty area. Gudjonsson plays it back towards the centre circle. And Wales, for the moment, are ostensibly playing with 10 men. As the ball goes out of play, and that's going to be a throw-in for Wales and a full-back position for them. And Nico Williams is back up at his feet. He's just sort of nursing his toe, but he looks like he's going to be okay to continue, just putting weight on that foot now. Ben Davies waiting for a moment to see, is he okay? Wants to get a signal from his teammate before he takes the throw-in. The referee says it's not the Wales captain who has that discretion. It'll be the referee's decision whether to hold up play or not, so he urges the Tottenham man to get on with it. Davies takes the throw into Iceland territory. Mark Harris tries to control it, but he's swarmed upon by opponents, and Thordarson will come away with possession instead for Iceland. Decent pass out to the right hand side, controlled by Johannesson. Infield to Traustason, then back to the halfway line again as Ingerson gets it, and Iceland trying to redevelop a groove and a fluidity that they have displayed at times in this game, particularly in the early stages. Ball down the right wing for Iceland. Davies has it covered. Nothing fancy, just knocks it out for a throw in to the away team. This is just down in front of us, right hand side, as Iceland go forward. Still 2-1 to Montenegro in the other game in the group. So Wales, as it stands, still top on this final day in the Nations League group. And you can say what you like about the Nations League. I think people are still trying to get their head around it. There's no doubt, Kit, this is a big improvement from the days of the meaningless friendlies when managers were bringing on 8 subs in the second half. And at least this is a proper game.
Yeah, I think, especially when it gets to this stage of it now, and it's for promotion, relegation, things like that are at stake, it becomes certainly a lot more meaningful. And also, as we already said, it's the potential to qualify for major tournaments as well through the competition. So let's say not everyone's a fan of it, and it's more competitive games, which certain players have been quite critical about. But like you say, when it gets to this sort of stage and it's a game set up like this, it can be very exciting.
This feels like a proper competitive fixture now. Iceland trying to get back into a game that they led early on. That's a great pass. Fredriksson nearly onto the midfield. Nico Williams strong though. Wales get it back. They're rolling up their sleeves here. Harry Wilson back out to Nico Williams. He's recovered from that foot injury. Wales looking for a third goal of the night. Williams to the byline down the right hand side. Held up though and looks for support. Wilson is there to provide it. Fredriksson keeping close tabs on him. Williams takes a touch, delivers a cross into the centre, headed away by Traustason. It's going to fall here to Ben Davies, 20 yards outside the penalty area. Urged to shoot, but he knew it was too far out. Dan James will shoot, and that ricochets out for the corner flag. And Wales get a corner, and they are showing some good heart here in front of their home fans in Cardiff. Wales 2, Iceland 1 on 5 Live. Corner's been taken short, played in by Sheehan. Header by Ben Davies, touched over the top. Wales banging on the door here for a third goal.
Yeah, it's a good quick corner taken. Dan James and Josh Sheehan. Ball's then played in nicely. Ben Davies gets his header on it, but he's coming away from the goal, so he couldn't really generate too much power of it, and he headed it straight at the keeper who tipped it over for another Wales corner.
Montenegro still leading Turkey 2-1. That's good news for Wales. Here comes the corner, flashes through everyone, no touch of the back post, and out it goes for a goal kick.
Yeah, so good ball in there. I mean, it's a very, very good delivery, and I think Ben Cabango he gets a bit of a nudge. I think it's good defending in the end. His defender's been physical with him, but the ball runs away harmlessly. But a good delivery and dangerous looking corner.
Top spot up for grabs in the group. which felt a very unlikely scenario at the start of the evening. But Wales currently top of the pile. Here is Josh Sheehan of Bolton Wanderers. Passes to the left-hand side to Dan James with the orange boots tonight. James slowed down and then accelerates. That's really good to get away from Johannesson. Delivers the left foot cross, spilled by the goalkeeper, but Valdin Marson is able to gather it at the second attempt.
Yeah, a bit flappy coming for it to keep it there. I mean, Brennan Johnson gets across the front of him and jumps very early, and he flapped it down, but just about managed to clutch it on the second attempt and then deliver it away to safety.
2-1 Wales lead on a still but cold night in Cardiff. There's no big wind here, it's been dry, but certainly there's been a dip in temperatures. Wales, who've done it the hard way tonight, coming from 1-0 down to lead 2-1. 2 goals for Liam Cullen, the first 2 goals of his international career. What a night for him. As Fredriksson takes his time over a throw on the far side, he's taken too long. He's taken too long, and that's been deemed to be a foul throw. No, I think the ultimate thing was he took it from the wrong position. He kept sort of edging a bit further. The referee said, you've taken it from the wrong place. Foul throw into Wales, which they've taken. And it's played forward by Sheehan, out to Dan James on the left-hand side. Controls on the instep of his right boot. Cuts it towards the edge of the area and Cullen. Cullen back out to James again on the left wing. Scoops it away from the defender, but he scoops it out of play. Goal kick for Iceland, away to our left-hand side. Wales 2, Iceland 1.
Yeah, the temperature's very cold here, but it's risen within the stadium because of the fans and the atmosphere and the tempo of the game now, certainly. Like I say, there's something on this game. You know, Wales want to win this, and whether they know that the other result is going their way still, in Montenegro still beating Turkey 2 or not, I don't know, but the tempo to the game has certainly increased.
Craig Bellamy on the verge of continuing this unbeaten start to the job. He served his time, worked as assistant under Vincent Kompany. He's learned the trade, he's been given this opportunity, and this is how you take it, delivering results. And there's a real feel-good atmosphere about Bellamy's tenure so far. Popular from his playing days, of course, 78 caps for Wales, scored 19 goals. There's a hold-up here near the halfway line. The referee has been having a word. I'm not quite sure what all that is about. Craig Bellamy has come to talk with the fourth official, trying to get some clarification. Bellamy's been shown a yellow card there. Now, I didn't see any of that, Kit, but I presume he must have said something. But Craig Bellamy's shown yellow.
I'm not quite sure what that was for. He certainly didn't seem to be... He's talking to the fourth official, but certainly didn't seem to be too
Johnson into the penalty area, down the other end. It's pulled back. They're claiming it went over the goal line. They're claiming there was a handball on the line. It's been cleared away from Wales. But how close was that to a second Icelandic goal? Andre Gudjonsson into the penalty area, right-hand side, pulled it back. The impressive Thorsteinsson was arriving. He had a defender close to him as he tried to bundle it over the goal line. Wales got it away, but a very animated appeal from the Icelandic players to say they thought there was a handball on the goal line. Now, there is VAR tonight, so these images will be looked at. Fabio Melo is looking after this, assisted by Hugo Miguel, Portuguese team. We've got the benefit of a replay, not cut and dry that there's any obvious handball there. If anything, it might have hit the hand of the goalkeeper, but play continues, so presumably that's been check complete, no penalty, and Wales breathe again, but it was certainly close. Here's Harry Wilson, nods it away from Paulson, a run into the penalty area. Wilson shoots straight at the goalkeeper who makes the save. What a chance for Wales, and it's all happening in Cardiff. It really is end-to-end at the moment.
Yeah, great break, really brave from Harry Wilson as well. The defender came across and tried to clear it with a high foot. Harry headed it, but he just seemed to then sort of lose a bit of his momentum and slowed down a little bit. It was quite wide for the shot, and it was straight at the keeper. It was quite a tame effort in the end, but again, another decent opportunity, and it is quite end-to-end now, this game, and there's opportunities and chances for both teams and at both ends of the pitch, so it's quite an exciting game, I've got to say.
Harry Wilson, who's been in the goals for his club, has come off the bench to score in each of his last 2 appearances for Fulham, but here comes Ellertson into the penalty for Iceland. Davis gets a touch, Thorsteinsson puts it over the top. He controlled the ball, and in doing so, he didn't fully trap it. It bounced and bobbled in front of him as he then tried to strike immediately afterwards, and it sails over the top. That's another let-off for Wales, who, it has to be said, 2-1 up, are living on quite thin ice that they're standing on here tonight. That is chance after chance for Iceland, and it does feel eventually the visitors are going to take one of these. But for the moment, Wales still 2-1 up, Turkey still behind, and Wales still top of the group.
It was a slip from Ben Cabango initially, and then Ben Davies tried to clear the ball, but it went straight to an Icelandic player. But he just couldn't control his shot. But that was a really, really good opportunity for Iceland. So they're certainly pushing and pressing and going to do everything they can to try and get this equalising goal.
Wales leading Iceland 2-1. Iceland, though, with that body language to suggest that they still have something in them tonight. Gudjohnsen controls, plays the ball back into the midfield. This is Traustason. Ball goes out of play, throw into Wales. Ben Davies just using his experience, takes the sting out of it, holds the ball above his head, allows his teammates to get a breather here. We've gone past the hour mark, but there is still a long way to go. Wales with a big serious chance now of winning the group. They've got to hold on to this lead. They've got to hope that Montenegro can hold on to their lead against Turkey, who had been top of the table coming into these games tonight. Montenegro at the bottom. Montenegro, who are already relegated, but producing their best performance of the campaign so far tonight, just when Wales need them to do it. Cabango. Wales, who wins home and away against Montenegro. Iceland have beaten Montenegro home and away. Somehow the Montenegrins have come up with this performance tonight to be currently leading Turkey. Cabango clears away for Wales. Header met by Ingerson. Back down on the deck from Liam Cullen, who's on a hat-trick now, remember, but he loses the ball there inside his own half. Ingerson floats it over the top. Cabango head away. Danny Ward have been running out for it. Cabango decided to take matters into his own hands and cleared it away. Iceland are definitely holding on to this good spell. Thordarson gets it back again from Fredriksson. Thordarson, right-footed crossfield ball into the penalty area, but met by Ben Davies. Cushion headed down. He was hoping to pick out Dan James. It's been won back for Iceland by Traustason, and the Icelandic players still have it. They eventually roll back to the goalkeeper, all the way to our left-hand side. Valdimarsson's sliced clearance comes down for Cabango inside the centre circle. Wales could do with a spell in their opponent's half here. They could do with giving their defence a breather. Harry Wilson encourages Nico Williams forward down the right-hand side. Couple of step-overs, low cross into the middle, too close to the goalkeeper. Valdimarsson makes the save. It's still Wales 2, Iceland 1 on 5 Live at BBC Sounds.
I think it's really important, the game management now. I would expect a couple of subs, or at least one sub happening very soon. I think there's a little bit of activity down on the bench. I think we need a few fresh legs, a bit of more impetus, I think, for the game. But it's certainly, like I say, it's live and right up, and it's really exciting now, this second half.
2-1 Wales lead. Both goals from Liam Cullen. Still much work to do to see this through. Throw in from Ben Davies, left wing, midway inside the Icelandic half. Back to the halfway line go Wales. Cabango to Joe Roden, still holding that heavy strapping on his head. Tries to give it forward to Cullen, but that's been intercepted. And then a long ball played forward for Iceland will bounce away from Andre Gudjohnsen. And out it goes for a throw into Wales' left full-back position. Bit of a hush descends upon the crowd. Bellamy's making a change here. So he's going to take off Mark Harris. Harris, the Oxford United player. And he's going to bring on the experience of Joe Allen. This feels a shrewd move. You take off an inexperienced forward, you bring on an experienced midfielder as Wales look to hold on to this lead.
Well, I just spoke about game management. Who do you want better for game management than the little maestro himself, Joe Allen, coming on? So, yeah, I think that's a good move.
First touch for Joe Allen to give the ball back to Ben Davies. Dan James tries to spin away from Alphonse Samsted, who's the only player on the pitch who's been booked. And Craig Bellamy off the field has been shown a yellow card too. Great work there by Cullen to win the ball in the midfield, to release Brennan Johnson. He's in, 1-on-1 with the keeper. Johnson for Wales! It's 3-1! He's had a few chances tonight. He wasn't going to let that one pass him by. Brennan Johnson, cool as you like, low to the bottom corner. His 5th international goal. It's a night that Wales needed results to go their way elsewhere. They've also needed to do their part. Well, that's happening, because with 25 minutes to go and having been 1-0 down earlier this evening, Wales now lead 3-1. Brennan Johnson with the third.
Yeah, there's a bit of action down on the bench. I think the 4th official's not happy with Craig Bellamy for something. He's over another word. But a brilliant, great goal great goal from a Wales perspective, but really good. I think it was Josh Sheehan got the pass away under Liam Cullen, I think it was, under immense pressure. Really good ball out to Brennan Johnson, who still had quite a lot to do, a long way from goal, but with his electric pace he got through and finished with aplomb. Great finish. Great for Wales. 3-1 up now.
The goal does stand after a hesitation here. The referee's coming over. This has nothing to do with VAR. I think this is technical area management for the fourth official, because now there is a yellow card too for one of the backroom staff for the Icelandic team. It wasn't to Harida, the head coach, but one of his assistants has been shown a yellow card there. There's been a bit of pantomime. I mean, we know that Bellamy was like that as a player. He will rile up opponents. He did very enthusiastically celebrate the goal. Of course he did. He's been overstepping the mark outside the technical area a little bit tonight. That's why he received his yellow card. But now it's Icelandic protests that have seen them in a similar fashion get a yellow for the bench. But the 3-1 lead, this feels that goal's so important for Wales. At 2-1, that was a perilous state. This is a bit of comfort for Craig Bellamy's team now.
Yeah, I think that could prove to be a very, very big goal, and now we not relaxed for sure, because they're still going to press Iceland. They've still got a bit of time. It's sort of 67 minutes gone, so there's plenty of time for them to still get back in this game, and they'll believe they can do that. And to be fair to them, they have created enough chances throughout the game so far, so they've looked a threat. So why not? They'll keep pressing, but that third goal for us certainly gives us that little bit of a cushion and bit of breathing space, and I think it makes it a bit easier to manage the game now.
Wales 3, Iceland 1. Dan James has picked up a yellow card for a late challenger. Alphonse Samsted, the Birmingham City player, who's back up at his feet. James, the first Welshman on the field to pick up a booking this evening. We're midway through the second half. Brave jump in the air there by Nico Williams, and Wales, you can just tell they're all standing a bit taller now with this 3-1 lead. Goals which seep a belief through a team, and Wales know that this is looking really good for them to be their night. The big question at the moment is, can Montenegro hold on? They're still 2-1 up against Turkey.
Well, that would be absolutely fairy tale stuff if that was to stay the same, and why not? No one expected it, but we know it can happen in football, and why not? We just had to do our job here tonight, and at the moment certainly Wales are doing that. And sometimes you work hard, you earn a bit of luck, and hopefully that'll be the case tonight.
Party atmosphere in Cardiff. There'll be some night of celebration here tonight if Craig Bellamy's team hold on to this. I think national teams are always looking to find a momentum, the belief that a team is going in the right direction. And if Wales can win this group and get the automatic qualification up to League A, well, what an absolute endorsement that will be of what Bellamy's doing with these players. Here's Brennan Johnson, cuts into the penalty area, shoots left-footed but no power. It's still there for Wales if they can keep it moving here. Joe Allen stoops down to win a header, touches it back to Nico Williams, back into Joe Allen again. He's keeping it all neat and tidy. That's what he's been brought on to do. Oh, but a mistake. Ball has been given away in the midfield by Josh Sheehan. Iceland trying to come forward. Good Johnson, their goal scorer from the first half. Allen tries to put him off his stride. Two players lunge in. That's going to be a free kick to Iceland. Foul given away by Sheehan, who had originally given away possession. Free kick to Iceland, but it's not in a dangerous position as such. Closer to the centre circle than it is the penalty area. Kit Simons.
Yeah, I think Wales like to just try and slow the game down a little bit now, and like I say, Joe Allen's the perfect player to do that for Wales. He picks and chooses when he breaks with the ball, when he just slows the play down and willing to keep possession and come back maybe on himself. He just makes really good decisions with the football, so he'll be very important to Wales now, and I thought it's exactly the right decision to bring him on, and I think Wales scored straight away without even touching it.
Iceland play the free kick into the penalty area. Ben Davies wins a good header denying Ingerson, and the ball goes out of play for a throw into Iceland on the right hand side. I'm just looking at some of the stats from the Turkey game. They've had 15 shots, Turkey, but they can't get the equalising goal. They still trail 2-1 away in Montenegro this evening. Montenegro, who've only had two big chances as determined by Opta, they scored them both. So it's 3-1 to Wales here, 2-1 to Montenegro. Craig Bellamy's team top of the group as things stand. 20 minutes to play at Cardiff City Stadium. Ball is played in by Johannesson for Iceland. Comes down on the edge of the box. Thought Dawson has given it away. He was too casual there. And Harry Wilson is side down And there's derision here. Traustason was the player who took him down, and he's going to go in the book for that, but the Wales players didn't like that challenge at all. Wilson would have been away. It was a very professional foul, and Wilson is still rolling around on the deck. Yellow card for Traustason. I think some of the Wales players thought that might have been worthy of more.
Yeah, no, I think it was a professional foul. It was a trip. A bit silly, really, because I thought he had like 2 or 3 at least of his teammates behind him, so probably no need to do it at this stage of the game for them. They just want to keep the game going, but he took it, and the Welsh players weren't happy.
Just seen the replay. I mean, it doesn't look good from some of the angles. He absolutely cleans him out, and Harry Wilson was fortunate he didn't have a leg planted at moment of contact. That could have been more serious. As it is, Wilson is up. Yellow card is shown to Traustason. He joins Fredrickson and Samsted in the book. Wales still 3-1 in front.
Yeah, like I say, you see the replay again. It was certainly a bit worse than what it initially looked like. But
now Dan James goes down. Referee was close to that. He says no foul by either player. He just wants play to continue. It was Samsted, the defender, who is saying that he's hurt now, and he may need some treatment. They're going to make a double change here anyway, Iceland, as they try to salvage something. As things stand in the group, Iceland will be finishing third. That would mean a relegation playoff in March. They would play one of the second place teams from League C to see who stays in League B, who goes down to League C next time. So it could be a relegation playoff unless Iceland can turn this around and get a win for themselves. Remember, a game that they did lead in the first half. So the two players getting ready to come on. Drago Dan Thorhalsen, who plays with Orlando City in the USA, and also William Williamson, who's another Birmingham City player. He's a club teammate of Alphonse Samsted in League One. Samsted still being worked on by the medical staff as Wales make a change of their own here. Sorba Thomas comes on to great aplomb and great cheer. Sorba Thomas, who plays in France these days. He's on loan at Nantes from Huddersfield, and he has come on to replace Dan James. Good performance from James. Busy, kept working hard, kept providing that outlet for Wales to counter-attack.
Yeah, he took a little bit of time to get going and get into the game, but then once he did, and he started playing to his strengths, utilising his pace a little bit, he was a real threat, and he caused them quite a lot of problems and had a decent game overall, so I think he'll be quite happy with his performance tonight.
So, concern for Iceland here as Samsted gets brought over to the side of the pitch. Wales fans are singing, "We are top of the league." Factually correct, though a Turkey flourish, strong finish in Montenegro could still take this away from Wales. But as things stand, Wales improbably topping the group and heading for automatic promotion. And they won't have to go through any playoffs in March. Torstensson is one of the players going off. Williamson comes on to replace him. And Samsted won't take any further part in the game. Drago Dan Thorhalsen will come on. Now, he's got a big game of the weekend. Orlando City have got a conference semi-final against Atlanta United on Sunday. He comes on into the defence. 2-goal deficit for Iceland as things stand. This is 5 Live for the BBC, live at Cardiff City Stadium this evening. Wales 3, Iceland. What has been an entertaining game. Wales have turned it around for being 1-0 down to lead 3-1. 2 goals from Liam Cullen. Well taken goal by Brennan Johnson. Here's Danny Ward, who's back in the team tonight. One of the 4 changes from Craig Bellamy. Is it to be a victorious return with just over a quarter of an hour of normal time to play here? Strong header won by Paulson. Iceland certainly aren't giving up, and their coach Agahirada will be hoping that these 2 replacements he's brought on now can just see them shift up a gear and produce a strong finish here.
I mean, it's certainly not been the game I think we would have anticipated, really. We're saying at the top of the programme, Wales struggling a little bit to score goals, but looking very tight defensively. Well, tonight we've scored 3 goals, could have been more, but have looked a little bit open, so it's not quite gone the same context as the rest of the group. But listen, if we can finish this with a win.
Now, have to cut in, Kit. There's been a goal in the Montenegro-Turkey game. It's a goal from Montenegro. They lead 3-1. The team at the bottom of the table, who'd lost all their games so far, have suddenly produced their best performance on the last day. Perfectly timed for Wales. There's now a buffer in both matches. This would need to go dramatically wrong for Craig Bellamy now to knock Wales off the top of the group. Incredible performance from the Montenegrins.
Well, it's absolutely amazing. You know, we said it at the start, it's almost going to need a miracle. Well, it just goes to show miracles can happen. I mean, it's not over yet, so you don't want to count your chickens for sure. But it's looking very, very good for Wales now.
2 goals from Kristovic from Montenegro, leading Turkey 3-1. We all expected Turkey to win that game and to top the group. And that news now filtering through to a very happy Welsh contingent in the crowd here. This Craig Bellamy revolution for Wales is starting to bring in dividends already. What a statement it'll be if Wales hold on to win the group, and they would need 2-goal swing here and a 2-goal swing in Montenegro too to alter the course of events as things stand. And from a Turkish point of view, time is very much running out. There's about 14 minutes to go in both games. Iceland have had so many chances tonight. Sometimes it just seems written in the stars. Wales have taken their chances and survived a lot of scares at the other end.
The Welsh fans now singing Montenegro. A great voice, brilliant.
Here come Iceland attacking down the right-hand side. Williamson's been able to deliver across. Nico Williams underneath it. Comes to Fredriksson. He's challenged by Brennan Johnson. Wales have got this 2-goal lead to defend, and they'll defend it like demons now. As Fredriksson has lost out, and Cullen puts one over the top. He knows that Sorba Thomas is fast. Thomas putting pressure on the last defender, Ingeson. He's done well to get possession here. The substitute has just come on, holding up the ball, edge of the penalty area that Wales attack. Gives it back to Joe Allen, urged to shoot by the crowd. Holds on to it though. Gives it out to Nico Williams on the right-hand side. Everyone around us up on their feet at the moment on what's become an exciting evening. More exciting than we ever could have dared think it would be tonight. They try to release Williams into the penalty area down the right-hand side. That one's cut out, but Wales hold on to possession. And Iceland, for the first time, are beginning to look tired now. Harry Wilson tries to weave his way into the penalty area. Held up by Fredriksson. The left-back clears it away up to the halfway line, but Joe Rodon's all on his own, and he can help it back to the goalkeeper, Danny Ward. And Wales have now only got 12 minutes plus the stoppages to go.
Spoke about Joe Allen's decision-making earlier. I mean, he won the ball, he's breaking, you can see the whites of the goalpost, and the crowd are all urging him to shoot, and he doesn't. He plays it square and wide instead, makes the right decision to keep the ball moving for Wales and regain possession, or keep possession, sorry. Most players would have, get a bit of a rush of blood. You try and go for a bit of a worldie and shoot there, but he just makes good decisions at the right time for the team.
Wales 3, Iceland 1. Craig Bellamy, he's not resting on this lead. He is still very animated down there. He's tried his best to stay inside the confines of the technical area. He's already on a yellow card. Wales want a free kick. No, they don't. They want advantage. Harry Wilson plays on after what would have been a free kick and scores for Wales and makes it 4. Iceland are being carved apart now. Wales are going to win this Nations League group. It's an incredible start to Craig Bellamy's tenure as the Wales head coach. Wales 4, Iceland 1.
Yeah, it's a fantastic finish, but it's really, really good play from Cullen initially. Great hold-up play. He's getting fouled, but he holds on the ball and just flicks it to the side. Then Harry does the rest. Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic now.
4 goals in his last 5 games for Wales. Harry Wilson delivers once again. It's a great finish. He's outside the penalty area when he hits it. He's outside the D. But it's perfectly guided. Talk about picking your spot to beat the goalkeeper. Wales 4, Iceland 1.
Yeah, he had a couple of chances early where the ball just got caught under his feet a little bit. But once he gets it out of his feet like that, his technique is so good. He strikes such a great ball. Absolutely brilliant finish from Harry Wilson.
Well, there was a scenario earlier on tonight where we thought goal difference could be important. Wales, had Turkey drawn and Wales win, well then it would go down to goal difference, and it might have needed Wales to score 4. Very different circumstances. Wales have scored the 4, but that's academic now because Montenegro is still leading Turkey 3-1, and a Turkish defeat coupled by a Wales victory of any nature was going to see Wales top of the group, winning promotion up to League A. 10 minutes to play, but this Welsh crowd can't get enough of the performance. They don't want this game to end now. They want to see more goals from this Craig Bellamy team. Iceland have got a free kick midway inside their opponent's half. Wales holding a high line just outside the penalty area they defend. It's going to be played in by Isaac Bergman Johansson. Plays for Fortuna Düsseldorf in Germany. Referee is trying to keep his eye on all sorts of pushing and shoving on the edge of the penalty area. Wales fans who've been at their loudest in the second half than they have been all night, enjoying this flurry of goals. Wales who took the lead ahead of half-time and have lengthened that lead in the second period. Free kick is played into a busy penalty area. This is Traustason trying to keep it moving. Good Johnson can't pick out a pass. Sorba Thomas trying to be the outlet for Wales, but he can't pick it up. Iceland regained possession, played forward. The referee, though, blows the whistle after Harry Wilson lunged in. It's going to go out for a throw-in to Iceland inside the Welsh half, and the clock ticks on, and there's now just 8 minutes of normal time to play.
Yeah, Liam Cullen got caught there, just clearing the ball as well. He's having a word with the referee. Thought it should have been a free kick to Wales, but Iceland have started the game again, but now throwing to Wales, and Ben Davies down his left-hand side is going to be in no rush whatsoever to take this.
It's become a night of celebration for Wales. Iceland, who came here and scored first and thought that they were going to force their way up into a promotion playoff. But Wales had other ideas, and they really did hold their nerve after what was a disappointing start to go behind so early in the game. It was only 7 minutes when Good Johnson put Iceland in front. Bellamy will be so pleased at how his team had the resolve to steady the ship, to kick on, and now ultimately put Iceland to the sword tonight. Thor Halsen, one of the substitutes for Iceland, play it back to the goalkeeper, Valdi Marston again. Wales, who had a late scare on Saturday, penalty to Turkey that wasn't scored, but this doesn't look like there's going to be any late scares. Even if Iceland would have scored twice now, it still wouldn't really knock Wales off their stride. Joe Allen in the midfield, plays it out towards Brennan Johnson. That's a clever dummy. He steps over the ball, knowing that Nico Williams could run onto it, and Williams does that, and he's fouled, and that's quite cynical again. Nico Williams tried to play on despite clearly being rugby tackled, and the referee is going to have to reach for his pocket, and it's another yellow card, this time for Johannesson.
Yeah, but like you say, kind of really clever play from Brennan Johnson. The ball's coming to him, and he just literally overs it, lets it run through his legs. Dummying the ball, knowing Nico's going to be there, who's such a willing game runner going forward, Nico Williams, and he gets dragged back then round his neck and then fouled on the edge of the box. So double whammy and a yellow card for Iceland. It looks like another couple of Welsh subs, Connor Roberts, Jordan James, ready to come on.
Yes, Craig Bellamy's got to empty out his bench now late on. Wales have got a free kick to come here. They'll take their time over this. The clock ticks on. 6 minutes of normal time remaining. Jordan James, who's been in the starting team regularly, he's only played 3 league games for his club Rennes in France this season. Maybe that was part of the reason why he wasn't in the starting 11 today, but Bellamy's going to give him a late run here, and so too Connor Roberts. Burnley 4th in the championship table at the moment, only 4 points off the top of the pile. They're going to get late cameos as the free kick flashes across the penalty area, takes a touch off a defender, and Wales will remain on the attack here. It's a Welsh corner on the left hand side. Quick check-in back in Montenegro, still Montenegro 3, Turkey 1, and like us, they've only got 6-7 minutes to play.
I just love it every time you say that, Connor. It's brilliant. Say it again, go on.
We can't say it enough. There'll be enough people tuning in and tuning out and checking in with us, but Wales are top of their group and heading for promotion on a night that, the start of the evening, that felt a pipe dream, a possibility, but a really unlikely one. Sorba Thomas takes the corner, sends it in powerfully. Just wouldn't sit up for Josh Sheehan, and Iceland cleared outside the box. Harry Wilson will play it from deep inside Icelandic territory all the way back to his goalkeeper, Danny Ward, away to our right-hand side. The clock ticks on here into the last 5 minutes. Welsh voices singing now with gusto in Cardiff. Iceland, who've only ever beaten Wales once, and that record is going to continue tonight. Craig Bellamy's unbeaten start to his job is going to continue tonight. Joe Allen calmly rolls the ball back into his own half to Cabano. As the Welsh voices fill the cold night air with noise. already in the Nations League this week. England promoted to League A, Northern Ireland promoted to League B. Wales about to be promoted up to League A themselves. There's going to be some high-profile opposition coming for the next Nations League here to Cardiff. Montenegro still holding on to that 3-1 lead. Turkey trying their best but not able to forge a late flourish in that one. This is Ellison for Iceland, but their Christmas turkey is cooked already, I feel, here tonight. I mean, they're going to look back over the highlights of this Iceland and they're going to be absolutely amazed they didn't score more than one, because they had so many chances.
They did have a lot of chances, and I mean, it's timing the goals are pivotal, and Wales getting that second goal right in the stroke of half-time, having played okay but not particularly great, and probably Iceland having the better of the opportunities in that first half. But for Wales to score when they did and take a 2-1 lead in at half-time was massive. And it's the key moments in games that really count, and that was probably the big key moment, that second goal. But then second half, it's been quite open, and Iceland were looking very dangerous, but then Wales, quick fire, couple of really good goals, and now look comfortable, but it wasn't always the case.
Wales 4, Iceland 1 still. Jordan James and Connor Roberts wait for a break in play to come on, but Wales have just been holding on to possession here all the time. 3 minutes of normal time to play. Wales on their way to League A. Harry Wilson, one of the goal scorers, like 2 for Liam Cullen, 1 for Brendan Johnson, 1 for Harry Wilson. Wales producing the firepower tonight. It's the first time they've really been off the hook in that regard. It's the most goals they've scored under Craig Bellamy so far. Here is Wilson, wanted to play it out to Sorbert Thomas, cut out by Thorhalsen. Thomas is really hungry and he leans into Thorhalsen. He ultimately fouls him. Free kick to Iceland near the halfway line. The two of them tussle over the ball. Iceland, of course, want to take the free kick quickly. Sorbert Thomas overdid it there. We're trying to hold him up, and quite needlessly he picks up a yellow card for that.
Yeah, I thought he was a bit fortunate. I thought he was going to get away with it, but then in the end the referee decided to pull out his yellow card, and probably rightly so. No need to do it, really.
So here come the Welsh changes. It will be Josh Sheehan and Brennan Johnson who make way. Jordan James and Connor Roberts come on. Johnson, who scored his 5th international goal tonight. He scored home and away against Iceland in the group. Now the Tottenham man departs. Josh Sheehan, who ran his socks off in the midfield, is replaced by Jordan James. Wales almost there. Turkey still 3-1 down. No developments in Montenegro. 28,240 is the official attendance. They'll be able to say they were there the night that Wales, against the odds, came from behind to win a group in the Nations League to get promotion up to the top tier for the first time. Here's a late chance for the visitors, but it's put over the top. It was Good Johnson's effort, and it was way over Danny Ward's crossbar.
Yeah, decent effort, but it was pretty harmless, really. In the end, he would have done well. Well, yeah, he's only about 10 yards out, I suppose, to the corner of the 6-yard box. Swiveled, tried to get his volley on target, but it flew over the bar in the end. It's quite difficult to control.
Wales are almost there. We're into the final minute. Coming up at 10 o'clock on 5 Live, the Women's Football Weekly. Talking around a big weekend of the WSL and the England squad announcement as well. Tomorrow night, tennis, special programme on Rafa Nadal. Adios Rafa is the show, featuring the likes of Tommy Robredo, Pat Cash, Feliciano Lopez. Tune in tomorrow night from 7:30 here on 5 Live as we pay tribute to the career of Rafa Nadal. He played his final game this evening. 15 seconds of normal time to play. We're about to find out what will be added on for the stoppages. 4-1 Wales lead. Iceland play the free kick into the penalty area. Cabana wins the header. Sorbert Thomas completes the clearance. Big Gary Over kick, rugby style, up towards the halfway line, which Fredrickson was unable to control. Cheers from the Welsh crowd. They know that they've won this game. Just 3 minutes to be added on. Ward comes sprinting out of his penalty area, clears the ball away. 3 minutes, simply not enough time, surely, for Turkey to score the goals they would need to spoil Wales' day and to recapture top spot in the group.
I mean, what I do think as well, we'll say, is I think Wales have looked very energetic this second half. So, you look at the changes Craig made from the weekend game, and you think, well, probably the right decision, because we've looked looked certainly fresher in this second half and lots of energy. And I mean, scoring the goals obviously helps, but you know, we needed the energy to score the goals. Both were sort of counter-attacks, breakaway goals. And so I think he's been vindicated for his selection choices and mixing it up a little bit.
Wales top of the group on 12 points, Turkey 11, Iceland 7, Montenegro already relegated before this evening on 3, but those 3 points, assuming that they do hold on to beat Turkey, still have that 2-goal advantage. They're into stoppages as well. What a night for Montenegro to step up to the plate and produce that performance just when Wales needed it, as Cullen tries to lay the ball off to Thomas. Cleared away at the back by Ingesson for Iceland. Cabango has got everything under control for Wales. Nothing fancy, just plays the ball into the crowd. Wales are almost there. Throw in to be taken by Dagodan Thorhalsen. Given the shortage of time remaining, the heads have dropped from Iceland. They're no longer chasing with absolute gusto. It's played all the way back to the goalkeeper, Valdimarsson, away to our left-hand side. Iceland, who've already lined up a couple of warm weather friendlies for January. They're going to play in Haiti and they're going to play in Puerto Rico. And I'm sure it'll be warmer than it is here tonight in Cardiff. A strange evening for Iceland, who started so well, have created a flurry of chances, but about to be on the bruising end of a 4-1 defeat here in Cardiff. Still no word of any change in the Montenegro-Turkey game. Still Turkey trailing 3-1 in that game. Wales attacking down the left with Liam Cullen. What a night it's been for the Swansea City man. He's done brilliantly to produce a cross from there. Harry Wilson already on the score sheet. Gives it into Nico Williams. Helps it on again. Jordan James. Sorba Thomas tries to curl it into the far top corner, and it was dipping and bending, but in truth it was well wide in the end. Goal kick to Iceland, and this game is almost done.
Yeah, Andrew just saying, a brilliant night for Liam Cullen. Absolutely fantastic night for him. 2 goals and an assist per the Brennan Johnson goal. I think it's him who got his pass away under great pressure. So a really special night for him.
It was a touch of Sorba Thomas's shot as he took it, so it'll be a corner. We have played the full 3 minutes now. Craig Bellamy is about to celebrate the biggest win of his tenure as Welsh coach. What a performance! We must wait for the final whistle to blow in Montenegro, but it appears certain that Wales have won the group, barring a late collapse by the Montenegrins, who've got a 2-goal advantage against Turkey. Craig Bellamy and all of Wales can celebrate a team that very much appears to be going in the right direction. Wales 4, Iceland 1, Kit.
Absolutely fantastic. It's really overall good, a really good performance. Iceland played their part in it as well. They had the right go and they had some really good opportunities and chances, but Wales finishing tonight was very good. They took their chances when they came and came out worthy 4-1 winners in the end. It wasn't quite as comfortable probably as the scoreline would reflect, but a massive win for Wales. And if it still stays 3-1 over in Montenegro, what a brilliant night it's going to be in Cardiff tonight.
An unbeaten Nations League group. Not an inconsiderable achievement at all for Craig Bellamy. 6 games for him without defeat under the new head coach. Draws home and away with Turkey. Wins home and away against Montenegro. An away draw and a home win against Iceland. And what a win by 4-1. The future looks so bright for Wales right now. I don't know, Kelly, if you've got any better information than me, but my computer says they're still playing in Montenegro, but barring 3 late goals from Turkey, this is going to be Wales night and Wales moving up to League A. 4-1 they've beaten Iceland.
It is still going on in Montenegro, but they do lead by 3-1. 95 minutes gone in that one. The whistle will go anytime, and we will let you know as soon as we have information on that. But that, coupled with Wales' 4-1 win against Iceland, as the guys have been saying, means that Wales will top their group in terms of Nations League qualification, and they will be through to the quarterfinals. And of course it has longer term repercussions in terms of qualifying for the World Cup. Not only does the future look bright for Wales, the present looks pretty bright as well. And Kit Simons, that Liam Cullen and Brennan Johnson sort of relationship worked so well. You know, Cullen with 2 goals himself, Brennan Johnson providing the cross to one of them, but then Cullen involved in Brennan Johnson's goal, which was Wales' 3rd.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic night, especially for Liam Cullen, like you say. He says night he'll always remember scoring his first Welsh goals in a brace, like two of them coming together, and also the assist then for Brennan, like you say. It was a really good pass he got away under great pressure. So yeah, fantastic night for him and a great night for Wales. You know, we said at the start it almost needed a miracle. Well, hopefully if that whistle goes over in Montenegro, that miracle's happened.
I love the nerves. They're 3-1 up, they're into added time, and still, until that final whistle goes, Wales are not absolutely sure it will be going any time soon. In the meantime, we're joined by Chris Wathen, who's a journalist for BBC Wales Sport. Just one defeat inside 90 minutes across this whole calendar year, Chris. This is a fantastic position for Wales to be in as they build going into next year.
Yeah, very much so. And as we know, it's not just about getting promotion into League A, the Nations League. And this competition has been very good for this young Wales side. But if you know the permutations, it does mean, unless the likes of Spain, Germany, France somehow don't make it in the top two of their World Cup qualifying group, it means a World Cup playoff place for Wales. And I know Wales will, and Craig Bellamy certainly, if you know him and his ambitions, will be aiming for direct qualification themselves. But I'm standing next to Kit Symons, who knows full well that for many years just to get a playoff chance at the World Cup is absolutely huge. And Wales missed Euro 2024 so very badly. These fans have had a taste for it. More importantly, these players now have had a taste for it. They haven't been weighed down by the scars of the past, if you want. And it has instilled a determination in them. Craig Bellamy was telling me yesterday that this is a different breed. They really hurt missing out, seeing teammates, seeing other countries do well at Euro 2024. So this is the next step towards that, because a major finals is where Wales want to be. And you have to say, so far, so good under the new manager.
Yeah, Chris, as you say, it's not necessarily straightforward, this path to the World Cup playoffs, but Wales likely to be in pot 2. Winning this group means it's very likely the worst case scenario is a World Cup playoff. There's going to be a serious challenge here, and of course, as you say, this is something that Wales fans have become used to. But in the meantime, no matches now until March. So what do they need to build on in that time?
I think what we've seen from these games under Craig Bellamy is very much a development of an identity. I think that's one of the issues that supporters and in the end some of the FAW hierarchy had with Rob Page. It wasn't just missing out. Sorry, Colin.
It is all over. Montenegro have beaten Turkey 3-1, so we can say definitively Wales top the group into League A, and as you say, Kelly, worst case scenario now, a playoff for the World Cup. Big night for Craig Bellamy.
Yeah. Huge night for Craig Bellamy, and they're looking ahead, as you were saying, Chris.
Yeah, we've now seen an identity which was missing in certainly the latter time under Rob Page. You know what this Wales team want to do, and something else really interesting, they've used something like 25 players across these Nations League games. He wants to develop a squad that all understand the same way of playing. The fans have been enthused by it. It's been attacking football, although there were a few people today saying, well, I fancy Wales, I'm just not sure if they're going to score enough goals. Well, I think they've answered that one tonight. And as Kit was saying, fantastic for Liam Cullen, not perhaps a natural goal scorer, but such an intelligent player to bring into that front line. And Harry Wilson, fantastic off the bench for Fulham, but he is certainly becoming a main man for Wales, and that is something that has really developed since the last campaign. I think he's now equalled Ryan Giggs with 12 goals for his country as the national anthem plays. It's been another fantastic night here, Kelly, at Cardiff City Stadium. Hopefully, the way things are going, a few more to come.
This is going to sound fantastic, the national anthem. It's definitely going to build, but as it does, and we will let you listen to that a little with a bit more volume in just a second. But just to pick up on that squad, Harry Wilson, it's always a surprise to learn that he's 27, because I don't know, in my head I always think of him as this young 16-year-old who made his debut, but he's 27 now. But do you know, it is a young Wales squad, Chris. There is a lot of potential in this. There was a concern about the transition when the more senior players were coming to the end of their career, and there are other young players like Ethan Ampadu, for example, to be coming back.
Yeah, and I think what you're seeing now is that they're taking ownership as I said, that last qualification campaign hurt. We all know that the huge player that was Gareth Bale. Aaron Ramsey's been missing a lot this campaign, but hopefully still involved. But let's be honest, Gareth Bale was such a player, such a figure, such a talisman, that sometimes he could overshadow others. And I'm not saying in a negative way, that Gareth Bale didn't do that on purpose. It just happens. And it takes sometimes you to lose that for others to be able to flourish a little bit and take a bit more ownership themselves. And I certainly think we've seen a lot of maturing in this young side. But as you say, Kelly, they are young. They've still got that energy. They're going to need that energy the way Craig Bellamy demands that they play. Not wants them to play, demands that they play. But they have that mature and a lot of caps. We've seen Dan James being presented with his 50th cap tonight. Joe Rodon winning a 50th cap. And I've always thought, and Kit can back me up on this, the advantage that Wales have as a smaller nation compared to other nations where the pool is that much deeper. Sometimes you have no option but to play these players, regardless of club form, regardless of where they're getting minutes at their club. A la Harry Wilson. These are your players, and what that allows you to do is allows you to bed in a side. And I think that we are seeing the benefits of that with the way they're playing under Craig Bellamy.
Chris, I know you've got to get down and do some interviews now, so thank you very much for joining us. But I am, Chris Wathen, going to put your point to Kit Symons. And Kit, what could be seen as a weakness for Wales as a smaller nation, the fact that there is that tight pool of players to choose from, actually can be a strength. It can be something that they can use in order to kind of give those players a rhythm, a momentum.
Yeah, and it can be, and it's, you know, I spoke earlier about the Together Stronger with Wales. It's so important to us, but when we're successful, and for us to be successful, we're a small nation, it's got to be that feeling of literally everyone pulling together and loving turning up to represent your country and putting on the shirt, and the whole squad and the staff, everyone together, and get that feeling then with the fans. When Wales are at the best, as we have been previous years, that's at its maximum. Like, that's absolutely fantastic, and it's coming back again. You know, it goes through little dips and troughs and things like that, but it's a real good feel about the place tonight. I mean, second half tonight was, the atmosphere was electric. It was brilliant. I mean, to start with, I do think maybe the fans were thinking, well, listen, I think we might win the game, but we're not going to win the group because, you know, Turkey will have to lose over in Montenegro. But as it went on and transpired, and suddenly Montenegro got a second goal, you're like, wow, here we go. This is like, and you could sense the atmosphere building within the stadium. It was brilliant, and that's what we want. That's what we need here to be successful. Is those sort of more nights like this, and that feeling that we had second half here.
Yeah, it was a fantastic feeling, and it does feel like there is a lot of optimism, not just based on recent performances, but just to go back to the point that Chris was making about the future that this squad has because of the ages of a lot of the players who are involved.
Well, that's right, and you've got really young players. I mean, Ethan Ampadu's, you know, got 50 caps, and he's no age at all. And so from very young players still, they've got a lot of experience, and that's a great balance. That's a great combination of things to have. So, you know, it's always going to be, after Gareth Bale, it's always going to be a bit of a transition for Welsh football, if you like. And I know that's bandied around quite frequently, but it honestly has been, because he was such a big figure and an incredible player for Wales over so many years. It was going to be very, very different when he's finally gone, and now he has, and it's taken a bit of time, but it will continue to take time to build like the new Wales post Gareth Bale era type. And it looks like it's happening. You know, Craig's come in and he's done a fantastic job so far. You know, unbeaten in qualification from this group, and actually winning the group, which is a tremendous achievement. So it's a brilliant start for him, which will give him more confidence. You know, it's his first proper managerial job. Give him loads more confidence, give the players confidence, the fans again, and it's, again, everything's then going in the right direction. We've got to maximise that, like I say, because we have got a small pool of players. It's a small nation, so we need to utilise it to the best of our benefit.
I mean, it's not just, I know you talk about Gareth Bale, and you're right, it's something that we bring up all the time, but it was also, players coming to the latter stages of their careers, like Aaron Ramsey, like Joe Allen, those players who are now sort of stalwarts of the game, and it was how that whole transition was going to be managed. And now it looks as though, as you said, there's this new crop of players coming through. Connor, just remind us, because it's not hugely straightforward, why this is such a significant group of results for Wales, or a significant pair of results, if you like. So it does mean that they top their Nations League qualifying group. That much we know, but what does that mean?
Well, the whole thing going towards USA, Mexico, Canada, the World Cup in 2026, there is a World Cup qualifying group, as there always would have been. And in the old days, the top team in a group would qualify, maybe the second team, maybe the top two would go through, the third team would go to a playoff. But that was how World Cup playoffs used to be. That's all been changed. The makeup of the playoffs now comes from performance in the Nations League. Now, there is a scenario where Turkey could have won the group tonight, Wales could have finished second, and if Turkey qualified through the regular World Cup qualifying group as normal, then that benefit would have dropped down to Wales anyway. But they've taken away that uncertainty now. What it means is that if Wales, of course, go through their World Cup qualifying group and finish top of it, they would qualify for the World Cup, of course. But if that group doesn't go good, if they get a tough draw, they're in against some really strong teams, and they don't finish high up that World Cup qualifying group, it's a backdoor route to the World Cup now, that they can still have a World Cup playoff thanks to this performance in the Nations League. So, any given Nations League night in September, October doesn't really seem that important, but you add them all up together, as Wales have done, and you put in a shift that you go unbeaten and top a group, suddenly that becomes a very valuable prize, and it's an extra reason why Wales fans can be dreaming of going to USA, Canada and Mexico in 2026.
Kit, that scoreline for Wales, the 4-1 victory, and then I know it maybe flattered Wales slightly, it maybe wasn't a 4-1 game, but take that out of it, just that scoreline, it feels like a real statement from Wales, the fact that it's not just the 4-1 tonight against Iceland, it's the results that they've had throughout the campaign, throughout this calendar year.
Absolutely, and I mean, we were talking before, during this campaign so far, the defence had been really strong, but probably hadn't scored enough goals, and that's the one thing the Welsh fans probably wanted to see, a few more goals. Of course, football fans do want to see their team putting the ball in the back of the net. So for tonight to score four very good goals as well, every goal was quality. It's brilliant. It's exactly what the fans were crying out for. Possibly we didn't look quite so tight defensively as we have done for the other 5 games in the campaign, but I think the Welsh fans will take that all day long. For a 4-1 victory, it's overall was an excellent performance, we've got to say, one Craig will be very, very happy with. And the fact that it's meant we've actually gone and won this group as well, it's just brilliant. He couldn't have wished for anything better tonight.
Kit and Connor, thank you so much for bringing us all the excitement, all the drama from the Cardiff City Stadium. Absolute pleasure listening to you this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it, Kit.
Absolutely loved it. It's been brilliant. Thank you so much. Honestly, I've had a great time.
Thank you very much. Kit Simons and Conor McNamara bringing you everything there as Wales beat Iceland by 4-1, coupled with Montenegro's 3-1 win against Turkey, and that means that Wales top Group 4 in their Nations League qualifying campaign.